night's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Pre-race ceremonies wrapping up trackside. Drivers get their final fist bumps in, swing a leg over the door, and into the cockpit of the race cars. The NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series is next.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Well, here we go. It's time for the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series to get up and get going and race at Watkins Glen. This is going to be quite an exciting one to gear up. There was practice earlier on, but due to the conditions not being equally fair, it was decided not to hold qualifying, which means that we have metrics setting the grid. And this is how they line up, with Rajat Caruth on pole from Justin Allgaier and Sheldon Creed, who did actually touch the wall in practice earlier on. That's then followed in by Brenton Cruz, Sam Mayer, Parker Reslave, Brandon Jones, Jesse Love, Austin Hill and Sammy Smith having the top 10. Jeremy Clements, Shane Van Gisbergen down in 12th after he's just taken pole position in the Cup race for later for tomorrow. William Solwich, Anthony Alfredo, Dean Thompson, Connor Zilic, Brendan Poole, Patrick Starpoli, Levi Scott, Alexander Guntelli now in 21st, Harrison Burton, Jeb Burton, Blaine Perkins, then it's Taylor Gray, Josh Bilicki, alongside Corey Day.
Give me a signal when you want me to
then
leave.
Ryan Ellis, Ross Chastain, Alex Labe from Derek White, Glenn Ray, Carl C, Carson Catfield, Austin Green, Will Rogers, Matt Wilson, and Preston Pradas. Repeat that, JT.
Cars to the rear, 00.
Cars to the rear is the 00 though of Sheldon Creed after that contact in practice.
For damage repair.
And that is because unapproved repairs after practice when he hit the wall.
Car 26
and
transmission.
Car 26 of that is Dean Thompson sent to the back for transmission.
Car 35,
and
unapproved power steering and brakes.
Unapproved power steering change. The 35 of Matt Wilson has also been sent to the rear.
That's it.
And that's it. Let's head back to MRN as we get ready for the Mission 200 at the Glen.
Unforgettable races from Daytona to Talladega. It's a front row seat to NASCAR history. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere on your favorite fast platform. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Find the NASCAR channel on your streaming device and start watching today.
This is Harrison Burton. You are listening to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on the Motor Racing Network.
Live on the Motor Racing Network, it's the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series.
Let's get a big thumbs up. Get ready to rock and roll and pass the race cars today, pal. Hey, boys, let's execute. Have a good day.
Today, the Mission 200 at the Glen from Watkins Glen International. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Now that's too fast, too tasty. By Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. By Hardee's. Get the Hardee's app and join My Rewards, and we'll start you off with a free sandwich. Plus, earn rewards with every dollar spent and order ahead. By Straight Talk Wireless, an official partner of NASCAR. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. By Sunoco. From NASCAR to your car, Sunoco. Performance is what we do. And by Toyota Racing. Your race, your story. Be part of the action at ToyotaRacingUSA.com.
We welcome you back to Watkins Glen International as we await the command to fire engines. My name's Alex Hayden. Alongside is Mike Bagley, Todd Gordon. We're joined by A.J. Allmendinger here in the broadcast booth.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. The NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series racing today at Watkins Glen International. Motor Racing Network is live with you with coverage of the Mission 200 at the Glen. We are moments away from going trackside and getting the command and getting this race underway. Mike Bagley here alongside Alex Hayden and Todd Gordon. NASCAR Cup Series driver A.J. Allmendinger and former Watkins Glen O'Reilly Auto Parts Series winner A.J. Allmendinger here as well. Cup winner A.J. Allmendinger here at the Glen. We also have on pit road Steve Post and Jason Toy, Dave Moody. Tim Catalfemo, Kyle Rickey will join us in the corners in just a moment. The scene is set. The weather changing by the minute here. Spitting mist here and there, but overall it is a cloudy, cool day as we get set to turn these cars loose for 82 laps around this legendary road course.
Yeah, we do. Stages today will end at lap number 20 for stage number 1. Lap number 40 will wrap up stage number 2. And then the advertised distance, 82 laps here at Watkins Glen International. That is a total of 200.9 miles, and this the 32nd time the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series has raced here.
2.45 miles around, course limits in play with very cool conditions and a lineup set by the rule book, which has put fast cars mid-pack and in the back. Buckle up. It's going to be a great one. Let's go trackside and get it started with the command.
Watkins Glen, here to give the command to fire engines with the most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome friend of Mission Foods, 3-time champion of the Rolex 24 at Daytona, and 2-time IMSA World Sports Car Champion, Butch Leitzinger.
Drivers, start your engines!
38 NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series drivers and cars. Fire the engines. We're getting closer and closer to the green flag to get this one underway.
We are under the green flag.
Listen up, NASCAR fans. Now's the time to turn your love of racing into big-time prizes. Because NASCAR Fantasy Live is your fast lane to bragging rights.
Furious racing here.
Pick 5 drivers each week of the season. Then complete additional challenges to stack points. All for your shot at the grand prize.
So let's get this party started.
For official rules and to learn more, visit NASCAR.com/fantasy and sign up today.
We're at the start-finish line.
William Byron on pole position. Green flag is out and we're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin bump.
We're on pit road.
4 tires to the racing field. The race off from pit road is Denny Hamlin. Eric Jones goes off.
We are live from the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station at MRN or NASCAR.com.
From Watkins Glen International, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The field of 40 drivers who will compete in the 2026 eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Championship Series, NASCAR's officially sanctioned esports series featuring the top sim racers from around the world, is set. More than $500,000 will be on the line, with $100,000 going to the series champion. Don't forget to tune in Tuesday, May 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern for round 1 at Charlotte on eNASCAR.com. Brought to you by Coca-Cola iRacing and NASCAR.
Pack your crew and ignite your weekend. Michigan summers don't whisper, they roar. Camp under the sun at NASCAR's fastest track. The Firekeepers Casino 400. Fast cars, loud engines, and chaos. The ultimate summer kickoff. Michigan never looked this good.
Hell yeah, boys!
That's now at mispeedway.com.
Find your local radio station or check out Motor Racing Network's broadcast schedule on MRN.com.
Now, here's the starting lineup.
Set to go racing today. Preston Pardis will start 38th. Matt Wilson goes 37th. Will Rogers starts 36th. Austin Green goes 35th. Carson Quapple starts 34th. Kyle Sieg 33rd. Glenn Reen starts 32nd. And Derek White 31st.
Alex LeBay will roll off in the 30th position with Ross Chastain in 29th. Ryan Ellis is the 28th starter. Corey Day will start 27th. Josh Bilicki rolls off in 26th with Taylor Gray in 25th. Blaine Perkins starts 24th. Jeb Burton 23rd. Harrison Burton 22nd, and Alex Cadet in 21st.
LeVar Scott starts 20th. Patrick Star-Pulley starts 19th. Brennan Poole goes 18th. Connor Zilic will start 17th today. Dean Thompson goes from 16th. Anthony Alfredo starts 15th. William Sawalich 14th, rather. And then it's Ryan Sieg starting 13th. Shane Van Gisbergen will start 12th, and Jeremy Clements 11th.
Starting 10th today will be Sammy Smith. 9th will be Austin Hill. His teammate at Richard Childress Racing, Jesse Love, will start in 8th with Brandon Jones in 7th. Parker Retzlaff starts in the 6th position. Sam Mayer starts in 5th. Brent Cruz of Joe Gibbs Racing in 4th. Sheldon Creed in 3rd. Justin Allgaier will start on the outside of the front row. And per the rule book, Rajah Caruth will lead us to the green flag. That is the starting lineup of the 38 cars that begin to roll from the pit lane right now to begin their pace and parade laps.
2.45 miles is the length of this 7-turn road course that is Watkins Glen International. There's 124 feet total of elevation change around this course. The track itself averages 38 feet in width, anywhere from 36 to 40 feet these drivers have to work with. They go downhill past the start-finish line, begin to downshift, stand on the brakes, and get set for what's known as the 90 here at the Glen. That is a right-hand turn. It is a bit off camber. The drivers do have to deal with the new tire packs to driver's left at the rumble strips that are painted red, yellow, and blue. Then they go into turn number 2, which is a right-hand corner at the lowest point of the property, and begin the climb up through the S's. That is turns 3, 4, and work their way out on the back straightaway. From there, it's up to 178 miles per hour and into the view of Kyle Rickey from Killingly, Connecticut.
All right, thank you very much, Alex, and good afternoon, everybody. From the backside of this course, once the cars get out of turn number 4 and the S's, they'll race down that back straightaway. It's about a 7 to 8 second flat-out run until they begin to set up for the bus stop. A narrow and slow right-left, left-right combination of turns shaped like a bus stop and was designed years ago to slow the cars down for turn number 5. It's an area where a lot of time can be gained and lost depending on how each driver attacks it. It's also where we've seen a lot of contact over the years. Once out of the bus stop, the cars will spill onto the aforementioned turn number 5, or known here at Watkins Glen as the Carousel. It's a long sweeping downhill right-hand turn. Out of turn number 5, they'll look to build as much speed and momentum as possible as they'll hit this short straightaway, and that's where they'll race into the view of Marlboro, New Jersey's Tim Catalfamo.
Thank you very much, Kyle Rickey. Good afternoon, everyone. Here in turns 6 and 7, the final 2 turns on this road course here at Watkins Glen International. When they swing out of that carousel that Kyle was just talking about in turn number 5, they will indeed head down the short straightaway, which is not only short in length, but it's also very narrow. There is blue Armco barrier on either side of the drivers as they work their way down into these final 2 corners. When they get to turn number 6, it's a left-hand corner. There is gravel trap to drivers' right in case they go too far off. We saw an issue with that yesterday in the Craftsman Truck Series race. And then once the drivers clear that section, they have another short little straightaway that turns them into the final corner, turn 7, which is a right-hand corner. The goal for the drivers today, keep all 4 tires on the asphalt. If they do that, they'll complete their run through this section of the course, and it will dump them back onto the front straightaway.
And that is a lap around this 2.45-mile road course. We mentioned A.J. Allmendinger in the broadcast booth. You just heard the description. A.J., you have lived this most recently with NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying. What is the track condition like as we get ready to throw the green flag on this race?
Hopefully better than that description. I'm pretty worn out. That was a long description of this racetrack. 7 corners. It seemed like we were on like corner 19 by the time we got to the end of it. But it's cold out. There's a lot of grip. But with these O'Reilly cars, tires get worn out quick. So, you know, that's what makes a guy like SVG, Connor Zilic, so good, saving these tires. But it's there's going to be a lot of speed when we fire off green here.
You experienced this racetrack yesterday in the Dodge Ram truck over there. The tire bundles down into the runoff area past turn 1, how will that change restarts, especially here?
It got tight there. When you kind of barrel it down in there, especially late in the race, that 2 to 3 wide, you were kind of shoved up against the tires. We saw one incident yesterday. What surprised me really is the carousel. It's very narrow now on the exit, so it'll be one of those things that if you're on the outside, you get shoved off into that tire bundle, it could cause a big wreck because it could shoot that car back onto the racetrack. So it definitely changes a little bit how you drive this racetrack.
Do you feel like that's really kind of changed the pace of the racetrack, too, in cup practice that you had today?
It doesn't really change the pace because in qualifying, you're not using all the racetracks so much. You know, turn one, you give race car drivers more room, you're going to use it. Lap time-wise, it really didn't change it much, but it definitely changes it as the tires get older. You can't use all of turn one. If you get in there, it locks the right front tire off into turn one. You don't now have that room to use all the exit of the corner. If you get wide of the tire barrier, you have kind of a stop and go through the bus stop.
Cars on the racetrack going through their pace and parade laps right now. Time to go to pit lane for a final thought and a story or two before the drop of the green flag, starting with Steve Post.
Alex, one of the stories I'm going to follow along with is Austin Green, and this is just one of the feel-good stories. Austin is the son of 1994 series champion David Green, and Austin is toiled away part-time here, part-time there, and picked up a full-time ride this year with Doug Peterson's Peterson Motorsports team. Road course racing has been good to Austin. 14 starts on the road courses. 8 times he's finished in the top 10. 2 top 5s, including finished second at the Roval last year. He's a good road racer. So I love this story. This race team, Doug Peterson, Austin first hooked up with them a couple years ago with TA2 Racing and has grown with them. 4 employees that Jody Meismer, the crew chief, leads. 4 employees for Peterson Motorsports. Going to start 35th, but they're looking for a top 15 finish here, and wouldn't be surprised with Austin Green's history if he could not accomplish it for this little race team running full-time here in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Jason Toy.
Postman, 2 days ago, Alex Gwinnett got an opportunity to be able to jump behind the wheel of a DGM Racing Chevrolet here at Watkins Glen. He's a normal driver in the Canadian series for NASCAR. This is the first time he has ever been to Watkins Glen. First time he's seen it in person. He's jumped behind the wheel of this race car here, but he got an opportunity. Josh Williams was slated to be driving this car. Sponsorship possibilities fell through. That put Alex in the opportunity to jump in. He said, you know what, we're starting the series next week for the Canadian series. This is my good warm-up, get an opportunity to mark one off the bucket list and get the run here at Watkins Glen. He's pretty good on the road courses, got a pretty good race car. We could be talking a lot about him later on.
We are going racing in one lap.
Meet the all-new RE4000 Bluetooth scanner from Racing Electronics. Hear uncensored audio from your favorite drivers, or listen to the live MRN broadcast, all hands-free and wireless with Bluetooth technology. Fast, lightweight, and built for race day, the RE4000 delivers zero latency, so you never miss a moment of the action. Powerful, wireless, effortless. That's the RE4000. Learn more at racingelectronics.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Petty, and I want to tell you about a place that's near and dear to my heart. Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by getting involved today. Whether you know a child who could benefit, want to volunteer, or join our team, you can be a part of something truly special. Learn more by visiting victoryjunction.org.
From Watkins Glen International, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The field of 40 drivers who will compete in the 2026 eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Championship Series, NASCAR's officially sanctioned esports series featuring the top sim racers from around the world, is set. More than $500,000 will be on the line, with $100,000 going to the series champion. Don't forget to tune in Tuesday, May 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern for round 1 at Charlotte on eNASCAR.com. Brought to you by Coca-Cola iRacing and NASCAR.
For 250 years, America has been more than a place. It's been a promise, a story of courage, hope, and dreams. And through it all, local TV and radio broadcasters have been there, telling the story of America, bringing truth to light. Broadcasters tell the story of who we are and who we aspire to be. We are America's storytellers. We are broadcasters. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
This
is Austin Hill. You are listening to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on the Motor Racing Network.
Welcome back to Watkins Glen International. So glad you're spending your Saturday afternoon with us here on the Motor Racing Network. The field has gotten the 1-to-go signal at the start-finish line. They have completed 8/10 of the lap. They are on approach into turn number 6. That is the left-hander that leads to what will be the restart zone and the start of today's Mission 200. And with it, Alex Hayden of Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Rajah Caruth, Justin Allgaier on the front row. They work their way into turn number 7. Caruth has the option as the pole sitter to start inside or out. He elects to start drivers right, and the green flag is in the air. We're racing at Watkins Glen. Justin Allgaier, that bright red Branch Chevrolet, works to driver's left, but Rajah Caruth stays right with him under braking in turn number 1 for the first time. They make contact.
Allgaier goes way wide off the banking of turn number 2, hangs onto it, but he's going to lose the top spot. Sliding through to take advantage is Sam Mayer. Mayer out to the quick lead as they crest the hill. 3 car lengths up over Justin Allgaier.
Sam Mayer at the point as they single out quickly at the front of the field. They'll fan out 2 and 3 wide further back. Austin Hill right in the middle of that, battling just out of the top 5. Under braking into the inner loop for the first time, Sam Mayer leads the way and pulls away by a couple of car lengths over Justin Allgaier in the second spot. Brent Cruz within a car length in third. Rajah Caruth in fourth as they exit turn 5.
That's the top 4 out of turn number 5 now. Single file among the top 10, working their way down the short straightaway. Battle for second flares up on the approach to turn 6. Side by side to the inside goes Brent Cruz, passing Justin Allgaier. Allgaier tries the crossover move as they go to turn 7.
Side by side for that runner-up position. It is Brent Cruz to the inside of Justin Allgaier. They funnel out onto the main straightaway to complete lap 1. Sam Mayer is gone already. He will check out from the field in front of this wheel-to-wheel battle for the number 2 position. That includes Justin Allgaier, Brent Cruz, and put Rajah Caruth in the mix as well.
Cruz with the advantage as they exit turn number 1. He'll pull away now with the number 2 spot, a car length ahead of Justin Allgaier. Leaders crest the hill. Running in the 4th position is Rajah Caruth. Right behind him, Brandon Jones.
He has pressure, that is, from Jesse Love out of turn number 4 and onto the back straightaway. Love will look to drivers right to the inside, but can't make a move on Jones. Jones, meanwhile, applying the pressure to Rajah Caruth through the inner loop for the second time and into turn 5. Jones slips up just a bit. Love has a look to the inside, but settles back into line as they hit the short straightaway.
Those cars exit the carousel, and they are now starting to spread out just a little bit. Sam Mayer has opened up about 3 or 4 car lengths as the race leader over Brent Cruz. It's another 3 back to pick up Justin Allgaier in third. Rajah Caruth, Brandon Jones, and Jesse Love battle for 4th.
Going to stay that way underneath the Go Bowling Bridge right here at the entrance to pit lane on the front straightaway. No change at the front of the field. Further back, Brandon Jones is under attack. Jesse Love will take his red and white Chevrolet to driver's right under braking in turn number 1. This is the fight for the number 5 spot in front of Dave Moody from Barry, Vermont.
They're side by side out of turn number 1 now, heading up the hill through the S's. Jesse Love will slide through, take that spot from Brandon Jones. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead beginning to tighten up. Brent Cruz is within a half a car length.
What was 5 or 6 car lengths a lap ago, Brent Cruz has arrived, now looking to the inside on the back straightaway on Sam Mayer, under braking for the race lead into the bus stop. Can't make the pass into the corner. Now he'll set him up at the exit of the bus stop into turn number 5. He is right there within a car length as the top 2 battle for the top spot.
Here comes the battle for the lead. Exiting turn number 5, Brent Cruz wants by Sam Mayer. They follow each other in lockstep formation down the short straightaway. Now under braking into the left-hander in turn 6. It's Mayer, only a half a car length over Brent Cruz, who continues to remain in his rearview mirror.
Sam Mayer has more than he can say grace over right now because Brent Cruz is basically in the trunk of Sam Mayer. Battle for the lead reaches the start-finish line. Now they'll open it up about a half a car length separation between the top 2. Here's Brent Cruz. He'll peek to the inside, but Sam Mayer's got that lane covered, at least at corner entry.
Great entry for Cruz as he outbrakes Sam Mayer, blows by and takes over the lead immediately out of turn number 1, pulls away by 5 car lengths. A tremendous outbraking maneuver by Brent Cruz in turn 1. He is long gone with the lead by the time I hit turn 4.
Took more than a full lap to set up to make that that pass, but when he did it, he was able to break away by about 5 car lengths already here on the back straightaway. Mayer in second, Justin Allgaier in third. There's about 6 or so car lengths between each of those cars. They really stack up for the 4th spot in turn 5. Rajah Caruth, Jesse Love, and here comes Connor Zilic.
Connor Zilic has been the driver on the move the last couple of laps. He has been passing a couple of cars since the start of the race. He is now on the back bumper of Jesse Love. This is the race for 5th. This is happening behind the 4th place machine of Rajah Caruth. They are nose to tail. Those 3 cars fighting for that spot.
Jeb Burton has a problem. He is on the runoff area at the exit of the inner loop. He's got some damage to the left front of that red and white Chevrolet. We stay under the green flag. Brent Cruz is the race leader at lap number 4.
Whoa, Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Whoa, like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
Hey Joliet, did you miss us? NASCAR is back for the biggest 4th of July weekend in 250 years. Salute our heroes, continue our traditions, and celebrate America, featuring the Busch Light Summer Music Series. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of speed. NASCAR weekend at Chicagoland Speedway, July 3rd through 5th. Get your tickets now at chicagolandspeedway.com.
Jeb Burton brings his race car to pit lane. He's got some damage to the left front we talked about. He'll fall 1 lap down as the race leader Brent Cruz goes rocketing by. Sam Mayer second. Justin Allgaier third. Rajah Caruth goes in the number 4, or rather Connor Zilic up to 4th. Jesse Love is 5th. Is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
NASCAR fans, get ready to feel the rush. The official NASCAR Tracks app is your ultimate race day companion. From managing your event tickets to navigating with wayfinding maps, event schedules, and facility info, it's got everything you need to make your experience unforgettable.
Ready, green flag, green
Bring
flag.
your headphones and dive into the action like never before with live scanner access.
Got a race to win, my man.
Listen in on driver and team communications at select NASCAR Tracks. Download NASCAR Tracks now on the Apple App Store or Google Play.
The thrills of NASCAR racing from over 55 years of Motor Racing Network broadcasts.
Bobby Allison brings the race car right down in the middle of the track, crosses the start-finish line, and he will win the 24th annual Daytona 500.
Bill Elliott wins the Hooters 500. Alan Kulwicki, 1992 champion.
MRN Classic Races.
And in the whole pack, steaming for the finish line, Dale Earnhardt wins the Winston 500.
Find all the classic moments on MRN Classic Races on any podcast platform.
Motor Racing Network's Wayne's Nation. Sprint Car Talk with Steve Post, Aaron Evernham, and Ashley Strebe.
We welcome you back to Watkins Glen International, the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, running the Mission 200 at the Glen. Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods, from fully loaded tacos to fast wraps and piled high nachos. Mission has everything you need to take your race day all the way to the finish line. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
Trouble turn 6. Matt Wilson has slid off into the paved runoff area at the exit of turn number 6. He kicked up a huge amount of dirt and dust as his front splitter clipped the grassy area at the entry to turn number 6. He has fired it up and now driven away.
He is driving away from the accident scene in turn 6 right now. We stay under the green flag. We have completed 6 laps. Colleague racing driver A.J. Allmendinger in the booth with us. A.J., some observations in the opening 6 laps so far from you.
Yeah, I think no shocker. Brent Cruz get up there starting as close as he did to the front, immediately taking the lead. Connor Zilic from 15th on the starting grid up to 4th. Looking at the lap times right now, Connor is the fastest race car on the racetrack, so that's no shock. The one thing is it looks like SVG just being patient, kind of easing into the race, not trying to use the tires up too much. Kind of what I would expect from him, but definitely Connor moving a lot quicker than SVG.
I was surprised to see SVG actually move to the right down the front straightaway, let Connor go just to kind of fight forward. To your point, you feel like that's just being taken care of himself for later in the run?
It's interesting. In practice, he was about 4 to 5 tenths off. Obviously, the track went dry right at the end of the session, so it was kind of hard to tell exactly kind of where he's at. But he was about a half a second off of Connor Zilic and Brent Cruz. This is what SVG is so good at doing, though, knowing that maybe he doesn't have the outright pace. Got to save them tires for that long run.
So we continue under the green flag. Stage 1 is only 20 laps in length. 13 laps to go now here in stage number 1. Brent Cruz up front. Sam Mayer rides in position number 2. Then it's Justin Allgaier, Connor Zilic, and Jesse Love. Shane Van Gisbergen has now made his way up to position number 6. But right now, Dave, we watch the car of Justin Allgaier, who is 3rd. Connor Zilic, who is 4th. Zilic under braking in the 90 in turn number 1. Chops off a couple of more car lengths.
That's the best battle within the top 10 right now, although Justin Allgaier still got a little bit of daylight back there in the number 4 position. Maybe 4 car lengths ahead as they make their way up through the S's. Connor Zilic trying to reel him in. For the moment, he'll run in 5th.
He had more daylight a lap to go as Connor Zilic is reeling in Justin Allgaier for position number 3. Well behind race leader Brent Cruz, who has already made his way through the bus stop. Second place running Sam Mayer, working around some of the slower traffic in 2nd. Then the battle for 3rd, really tightening up what was 4 car lengths a moment ago, down to 1. Here comes Connor Zilic, looking to the inside of Justin Allgaier.
Justin Allgaier trying to hold off a fast approaching Connor Zilic. Zilic looking for a little bit of daylight to get on by. Both Allgaier and Zilic pass one of the slower cars on the racetrack. That is the machine of Derek White. Through turn 6, they remain nose to tail. Now here's Zilic looking inside in turn 7.
Connor Zilic opens the inside lane at the bottom of turn number 7. He's racing wheel to wheel with a teammate Justin Allgaier. That battle is short-lived. Connor Zilic will now pass his 12th car in the opening 10 laps of the Mission 200 to take position number 3. Brent Cruz leads with 10 to go in the stage.
Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods. Mission Foods is proud to be the official tortilla, wrap, and tortilla chip company of Watkins Glen International. From fully loaded tacos to fast wraps and piled high nachos, Mission has everything you need to take your race day all the way to the finish line. So keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
Hi, folks. Kyle Petty here. I want to tell you about a place that's dear to my heart, Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by making a donation today. Any amount will help kids attend camp for free. Help make a difference by visiting victoryjunction.org/donate.
No changes in the top 5 while we were away. Brent Cruz has opened up a commanding lead over Sam Mayer. Cruz leads by 3.5 seconds. Connor Zilic, Justin Allgaier, Jesse Love round out the top 5. From Watkins Glen International, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Every time the siren sounds or lights flash, someone's life is on the line. At Wheelan Engineering, we know first responders carry that weight every day. That's why for over 70 years, we've led the emergency warning industry, designing and manufacturing the lights, sirens, and safety systems they trust right here in America. Because when the mission is critical, there's no room for second best. Wheelan Engineering, trusted to protect first responders.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-212-2828. 800-212-2828. That's 800-212-2828.
Today.
This is Brandon Jones. You are listening to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on the Motor Racing Network.
9 laps to go in the opening stage of the Mission 200 here at Watkins Glen. Brent Cruz is the man that is in command. While we have a moment, let's tell you how everybody is running. Presented by Straight Talk Wireless. To all the fans enjoying today's race, you show up. So does Straight Talk Wireless, an official partner of NASCAR, holding the line so you get more and pay less for it. No contracts, no surprises, straightforward, always. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com.
Brent Cruz is the race leader. Second is Sam Mayer. Connor Zilich goes third, and Justin Allgaier goes fourth. Fifth is Shane Van Gisbergen. Sixth, Jesse Love. Seventh is Brandon Jones. Rajah Caruth started first. He's backslid to eighth. Parker Retzlaff is ninth, and Austin Hill is 10th.
William Sawalich is 11th. Taylor Gray is 12th. You got Sammy Smith in 13th, Ryan Sieg in 14th, Anthony Alfredo in 15th. 16th is Brennan Poole. 17th is the car of Ross Chastain. Corey Day is 18th. Harrison Burton is 19th, and Austin Green is 20th.
LeVar Scott goes 21st. Carson Quapple 22nd. Blaine Perkins is 23rd. Sheldon Creed started at the back of the field after a practice crash and some unapproved adjustments. He's up to 24th. Josh Palicki is 25th. Will Rogers 26th. Alex LeBay 27th. Dean Thompson goes 28th. Preston Pardis 29th, and Ryan Ellis is 30th.
Alex Gannett is 31st. Kyle Sieg is 32nd. Glenn Reen is 33rd. Jeremy Clements just came down pit road. He is posted 34th with Derek White 35th. Jeb Burton is 36th. Two drivers out already. Matt Wilson 37th and Patrick Starapoli in 38th.
Kyle Rickey, challenge and change in front of you just now for the number 2 spot.
Connor Zilich got a great run going into the inner loop and was able to make the pass on Sam Mayer by the time they exited the inner loop and hit turn number 5. So Connor Zilich continues to roll his way toward the front of the field.
It's impressive to watch Connor Zilich and what he's been able to do in the opening laps. He has just passed his 13th car, and he is rolling to the front, but so is Shane Van Gisbergen. Both those drivers plowing their way to the front. They've got a long way to go to catch up with Brent Cruz, who is in checkout mode right now. So you've got Cruz, Zilich, Mayer, Allgaier, and Van Gisbergen. Seems like, Todd, everybody stretching their legs a little bit, getting settled in, and not putting their race cars in any binds here in the early going of this race.
Yeah. I mean, good, clean, efficient passes for Connor Zilich working his way through the field. Shane Van Gisbergen running top 5 laps, third fastest that lap. What we typically see out of Shane, the deeper we go in the run, the less that he loses lap time and really starts to shine. Jeremy Clemens, the first to come to pit road, 12 laps into the race. This is pitting the race backwards. That's when the window opens to be able to make maybe one more stop from here. That would be what I expect out of that 51 car.
Great battle for 8th on the racetrack. It's led by Rajah Caruth. Let's pick it up on the course.
And he has them lined up behind him through the bus stop. Rajah Caruth and 5 cars right there. Here's Austin Hill peeking to the inside. William Sawalich, Parker Retzlaff. Also in the mix is Taylor Gray. They'll single out off of turn 5.
Last time through turn number 7, Rajah Caruth locked up the front tires, trying to slow the car down, and he has got them lined up at the back door, like Kyle Rickey mentioned. Here is Caruth into turn number 6. Austin Hill, William Sawalich, Parker Retzlaff, and Taylor Gray trying to get by.
Going to stay that way. 5 cars locked right together off the right-hand turn number 7. Back on the main straightaway as the sun begins to peek through right here on the front side of Watkins Glen International. They're going to stay this way. Under braking into turn number 1, Caruth has a mirror full of the rest of the field.
He leads that 5-car freight train into the sunshine, something we didn't think we would be talking about today. 5 cars literally nose to tail. Austin Hill trying to put the pressure on Rajah Caruth, but in turn, he's getting some heat from behind from William Sawalich, Parker Retzlaff and company.
He has had several looks to the inside of Rajah Caruth, talking about Austin Hill, unable to make a move. They'll fan out 3 wide up the back straightaway for a moment. Taylor Gray goes around and is able to make the pass on Parker Retzlaff on entry into the inner loop, move him up 1 spot, but they lost a little bit of ground to William Sawalich and Rajah Caruth, who leads that pack of traffic.
All this battling going on from 8th on back. Austin Hill, William Sawalich, and Taylor Gray all battling amongst each other behind the 8th place machine of Rajah Caruth. Here is Austin Hill, though, right on the back bumper of Caruth through turn number 6, under braking, going back to the front straightaway.
Watching this intense battle for the 8th position coming out of turn number 7 and back on the main straightaway. You've been, A.J. Allmendinger, in battles like this before. You've led them. You've been at the back of them. You've been in the middle of them. What is it like listening to your spotter, negotiating the racetrack, basically in the rearview mirror, in the windshield? What are you doing here in this battle, and how fun is it to be a part of something like this?
it's fun if you're the guy being the aggressor. If you're the one holding them up, it is not a lot of fun. But as we see right here, looks like William Sawalich having an issue up through the S's. I'm not sure if something broke or if he's definitely off the pace. So he's definitely having an issue. But, yeah, with these O'Reilly cars, if you make a move and you don't get it to stick, the tires get mad. You start sliding around more. You almost, as the harder you drive, the worse it gets. As we see SVG making a move on Justin Allgaier for fourth, clear.
As SVG will take that spot away. AJ, is there a preferred spot for you with all the success you've had at this race course? Is there a preferred place on this course you prefer to overtake?
Turn one's always going to be the easiest, but with these cars sliding around, the later in the run, there's so many passing opportunities. You can get a run up through the S's, have an out-braking move into the bus stop. You can have a move out of the carousel in the left-hander there, turn 6. So there's so many passing opportunities.
We've even seen between 6 and 7, that short shoot there, guys just kind of using it as a dive bomb. That's kind of evolved the last couple of years.
Yeah, and it's just as the rear grip goes away in these O'Reilly cars, the more you slide around, the harder it is to get the throttle. So as you go through turn 6, the left-hander, you get it. The back end stepping out through the corner. If the guy behind you gets a run, you can dive down into 7. But we've seen in the past there, if it doesn't stick, there's probably going to be contact.
We have about 3 laps to go in the opening stage. Steve Post, do we anticipate any takers before pit road closes to end this stage?
Yes, we will. In fact, Connor Zilich's crew is on the wall right now. SVG's crew is out as well. And the last couple of years, this has been a really good strategy. Last year, Connor Zilich pitted on lap 18 and then pitted just one more time in the race. So we might be looking at a 2-tire stage. Here comes Connor Zilich on the pit road while he inches his way down pit road. Jason Toy, how about in front of you?
William Sawalich is in. He radioed in, said, guys, I think I'm blowing up, and definitely came in. Plume of smoke out of the race cars. They go under the hood. Steve Post.
Connor Zilich brings that car down pit road. Again, we are doing backward pit stops. He comes into the pit box. If you're standing on the wall from the left side, the crew goes around. Left side work is being done. 2 pit boxes in front of him. Here's Shane Van Gisbergen in to the attention of the crew. Left side work is done on the Zilich car. Around to the right side. Sunoco Racing Fuel goes in. Going to be 4 tires and Sunoco fuel there. Shane Van Gisbergen is in. They're working on the right side of that automobile. Shane liked the balance of his car late in the run. 4 tires, minor chassis adjustment, down and away. Taylor Gray is in getting pit service and more in front of you, Jason.
Carson Quapple is in. He's going to run with DGM Racing here today. Goes to work on the left side. Goodyear Racing Eagles go on. First can of Sunoco fuel goes in. They'll swing around now to the right side to complete the work for Carson Quapple. Starting towards the back, working his way towards the front as William Sawalich takes his car to the garage.
They are pushing that blue and white Starkey Toyota back to the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series garage with no pace in the trot for that race team. So things not very good right there for them. Looks like their day is going to come to a premature end.
Less than 2 laps to go in this opening stage here at Watkins Glen. Brent Cruz has just come across the line with that 2 to go indicator. And Dave, he has opened up his lead over Sam Mayer by 9.5 seconds.
It has been a Brent Cruz benefit here in the opening stage as he exits out onto turn number 4. The second place automobile just barely hitting turn 2.
And a lot of those teams and drivers that just pitted a couple laps ago or within the last couple laps just in front of race leader Brent Cruz now as he exits the bus stop, hits turn number 5. Jeremy Clements trying to stay on the lead lap as they hit the short chute.
Here comes the leader, Brent Cruz, at a turn number 5. Right on the back bumper of Jeremy Clements, trying to put him a lap down before the end of this first stage. Cruz, though, not pressuring Clements too much, going into turn number 6. Gives him plenty of racing room. Exits turn 6, now looks low in turn 7.
They make their way up off of the corner with some of those drivers, Todd, that came to pit road and made their pit stop. All the drivers now in the top 10 are series regulars that are stalking these championship points.
Yes, definitely sitting there trying to get every championship point they can. I was actually looking through that. Brent Cruz, 14th in points right now after missing 4 races because he was too young. That's capitalizing on these 10 stage points here, just trying to work their way into that position that gets them to the chase.
We are on the final lap of the opening stage. Let's pick Brent Cruz up on the course.
He makes his way past the slower car of Jeremy Clements, putting Clements down a lap. No challenge, front or back now for Brent Cruz.
All by himself on the racetrack, out at turn number 5 and up the back straightaway for Brent Cruz as he makes his way through the inner loop. Has one slower car just in front of him that he may or may not have to navigate before he gets back to the start-finish line. That is Glenn Reen in turn number 5.
Brent Cruz exits the carousel in his yellow and black Toyota Supra. As Kyle and Dave mentioned, nobody around him for positions on the racetrack. He now heads into turn 6, passing the Sir Jackie Stewart grandstands, gets on the throttle, and heads back to the front straightaway.
Looking for the green and white checkered flag. Brent Cruz, the youngest driver in O'Reilly Auto Parts Series history to lead a lap on a road course, is going to win the opening stage here of the Mission Foods at the Glen. As the green and white checkered flag goes in the air, Brent Cruz picks up the Stage 1 win. So Sam Mayer will come across the line now. He'll finish the stage in second. Justin Allgaier will be third. We got to wait another 25 seconds for the rest of the top 10 to make their way through turns 6 and 7 and back onto the front straightaway. Jesse Love will be credited with 4th. Brandon Jones will get 5th. Austin Hill will be 6th. 7th will be Rajah Caruth. Parker Retzlaff will be 8th. Ross Chastain will be credited with the 9th spot. 10th will be Ryan Sieg, as now for the first time the caution is out and it's presented by Hardee's. Buckle up, NASCAR fans. Get the Hardee's app and join My Rewards, and Hardee's will start you off with a free sandwich. Plus, earn rewards lap after lap and order your Hardee's ahead.
Down here, Ryan Blaney gets 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does.
Sunoco cans injected into the car, bubble wall is down and away.
All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR. From the track to your tank. Sunoco, the official fuel of NASCAR.
Hey guys, Corley Joy here. Make sure you catch Stacking Pennies on all the NASCAR platforms each week. We talk to some of our greatest drivers, winners, relevant stories. You never know who's going to show up.
Hall of Famers, everything. And you're going to get the best race highlights, the best content, the best scanner audio, the best reactions, and by far the best pit road breakdowns of any other podcast. Corey, where can they hear us?
You can find us on NASCAR on Tubi, SiriusXM Channel 90, wherever you find your podcasts, or on YouTube. Go check us out.
From Watkins Glen International, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
NASCAR fans, iRacing Studios brings you NASCAR 25. Race hundreds of the biggest stars of the sport on top tracks from Daytona to Sonoma. Start your career in the ARCA Menard Series and work your way up to Cup while managing team members, sponsors, and more. Or compete online with NASCAR fans around the world. NASCAR 25, available on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Head to NASCAR25.com to buy now.
Jeff Gordon wins the Daytona 500.
Jeff Gordon's rise to one of NASCAR's all-time greatest drivers was one like no other. Relive Jeff Gordon's journey to the NASCAR Hall of Fame with the exclusive MRN podcast, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career. 93 Cup Series wins, 4 Cup Series championships, and 3 Daytona 500 wins. A career rivaled by few others. Check out MRN's Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Join Mike Bagley every week on the Motor Racing Network for the latest news and driver interviews on NASCAR Live.
We welcome you back to Watkins Glen International, the Mission Foods 200 at the Glen for the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Stage number 1 is in the books. Brent Cruz picks up the stage win. Different strategy, Todd Gordon, being employed. Some of these teams elected to come to pit lane and forego stage points.
Yeah, there's a few of them, and really they're the ones that aren't racing for points here. You look at Connor Zilisch, Shane Van Gisbergen. There's 5 or 6 cars that came and got themselves tires. They're going to flip the stage and get some track position. We're going to see Brent Cruz has a good pit stop here. how far back he ends up. He'll be in the top 10, I believe, someplace.
Yeah, Brent Cruz and company staying out. Matter of fact, the top 17 cars stayed on the racetrack. Connor Zilisch and Shane Van Gisbergen came down pit road. They right now took the end of this stage in the 18th and 19th positions, respectively, so they will get shuffled to the front, and then the whole dynamic changes when you have two road course racing aces like those two, and everybody trying to take it to those two.
Yeah, and the one great thing for Brent Cruz about how big of a lead he had was a lot of those guys couldn't pit because they were afraid of going a lap down if he didn't come in for the pit stop. So I don't think he'll go as far back as normally you would, but where he was in points, remember, there's no winning you're in anymore. So he's 12 points back at the start of this race of being in the playoffs. Pretty amazing after missing the
Family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Pack your crew and ignite your weekend. Michigan summers don't whisper, they roar. Camp under the sun at NASCAR's fastest track. The Firekeepers Casino 400. Fast cars, loud engines, and chaos. The ultimate summer kickoff. Michigan never looked this good. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Michigan International Speedway. June 5th through 7th. Get your tickets now at mispeedway.com.
From Watkins Glen International, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options now available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-375-3232. 800-375-3232. That's 800-375-3232. National Debt Relief, the official debt relief partner of NASCAR.
Streaming now on Tubi.
This is Jesse Love. You are listening to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts series on the Motor Racing Network.
field will shuffle up just a bit after some of the drivers that elected to pit before the end of stage number 1 obviously stayed on the racetrack here. Connor Zilich will inherit the race lead. Shane Van Gisbergen will go to second. Then Taylor Gray goes to third. Sammy Smith the fourth. Those drivers elected to pit on lap number 17, just 3 laps shy of the end of the stage. Then those who came to pit lane on lap 22. Brent Cruz will restart in the number 5 spot, followed by Jesse Love, Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, Austin Hill, and Justin Allgaier, your top 10.
Are you ready for sights, sounds, and speed that'll shake you to your core? To see NASCAR stars like Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, and Ross Chastain attack the asphalt? Are you ready to make memories that'll last a lifetime? Yeah? You're ready. Then we got one more question. What are you waiting for? To experience the thrill of a NASCAR race in person, visit NASCAR.com/tickets.
Hi, I'm Kyle Petty, and I want to tell you about a place that's near and dear to my heart. Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by getting involved today. Whether you know a child who could benefit, want to volunteer, or join our team, you can be a part of something truly special. Learn more by visiting victoryjunction.org.
From Watkins Glen International, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hey, Joliet, did you miss us? NASCAR is back for the biggest 4th of July weekend in 250 years. Salute our heroes, continue our traditions, and celebrate America, featuring the Busch Light Summer Music Series. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of speed. NASCAR weekend at Chicagoland Speedway, July 3rd through 5th. Get your tickets now at chicagolandspeedway.com.
NASCAR history.
Petty wins his 200th career NASCAR victory.
Told by the people who made that history.
President Reagan was there. He got us on the front page, and we got him in the sports page. It was a good trade-off from that standpoint.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast The Road to Royalty. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, 50 Years of MRN, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
This is Sam Mayer. You are listening to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts series on the Motor Racing Network.
We welcome you back here to the Mission Foods at the Glen as the field works their way up off turn number 7 into the Poet restart zone. Green flag goes back in the air, and we're racing again. From driver's left, it's Connor Zilich with the advantage. Shane Van Gisbergen stays on the right rear quarter panel under braking. They stand on the brakes and go to the 90 in front of Dave Moody.
2x2 through the 90-degree right hand, turn number 1, 2x2 down the short chute, and now they begin to climb the S's. Door to door, up through turn 2, door to door, up through turn 3, finally getting the brake, sliding through to take the lead is Connor Zilich.
By a car length over Shane Van Gisbergen, who has his hands full now, trying to hang on to position number 2. And again, they fan out 2 and 3 wide behind them. Further back, Sammy Smith, for the first time today, up and in the top 5, running 3rd right now, just in front of Jesse Love. Although that battle for third, losing ground to the race leaders, led by Connor Zilich off turn 5.
Connor Zilich has got the lead, but here comes Shane Van Gisbergen with a nice launch out of turn number 5. He is right on the back bumper of the race leader, Connor Zilich, racing down to turn number 6. A half a car length separates these two, battling for the lead. The battle is on for 3rd behind them. Jesse Love to the left side of Sammy Smith.
He'll squeeze down and try to take that spot away. There's thoughts of 3 wide racing up off of turn 7. That will settle down just a bit as the car of Brent Cruz tries to get some of that track position back. Back to turn number 1 they go. It's Connor Zilich leading Shane Van Gisbergen.
Brent Cruz back around the 5th spot, and he is on the hustle right now. He is diving left and right, looking for position. He's on the attack against Jesse Love. Jesse Love, in turn, trying to take a spot away from Sammy Smith. That's the battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 7. Here comes Justin Allgaier. He bounces off the door of the Taylor Gray machine.
Taylor Gray to driver's right. Justin Allgaier to his left elbow as they race nose to nose up the back straightaway and under braking into the bus stop. Gray will pick up that position just into the top 10. Allgaier now under fire from Sam Mayer. This from 7th, 8th, and 9th. Austin Hill in the mix, as is Brandon Jones.
All those drivers scrambling for those positions out of the carousel. Here is Justin Allgaier trying to find a little bit of running room to get to the inside of Taylor Gray. They will race down the short straightaway.
Caution is on the speedway. A problem happened over in turn number 1. Two-car incident. It was LeVar Scott and Jeremy Clements got together. NASCAR held the caution for the better part of a full lap to wait and see if Clements could get his car unburied from the tire barrier. It's unsuccessful in doing so, so the Hardy's caution is out now for the second time. Perfect opportunity here. The Mission 200 at the Glen to welcome Butch Leitzinger to the broadcast. He joined us last year at this time, joining us again. Butch, a friend of Mission Foods and professional race car driver, to say the least. A 3-time winner of the Rolex 24 at Daytona, 2-time IMSA World Sports Car Champion. Butch, how are you, sir?
Lovely. It's just having a great time watching this really good race.
Yeah, it's been a good one so far. Now, I understand Mission Foods has been giving away special chips out in the fan zone all weekend long. What are these special chips about, and what are they?
Well, they're a very cool chip. It's actually in the shape of a race car, and you can only get them at the racetrack. They don't sell them in any of the grocery stores. You have to actually come and enjoy the racing to have them.
Why is Mission Foods so embraced with the surrounding area, and especially here at Watkins Glen International?
Well, the president, Juan Gonzalez, is a huge race fan. He's been racing for ages. I raced with him. We won the 12 Hours of Sebring together about 20 years ago. But he's seen what a good marketing vehicle racing is, and he knows the passion and the loyalty that the racing fans have. So he's been supporting a lot of racing in the last few years.
And he does a little driving himself, if I'm not mistaken. You got any races coming up at the Glen with Juan Gonzalez?
We do, in fact. We'll be here again in about a month in the HSR series. He has a Cadillac prototype that we'll be wheeling around.
But you're a legend in sports car racing. I've always felt like this is one of the most special racetracks that we can come to at Watkins Glen. Out of everything you've driven here, what was the race car that you just, when you strapped in around this place, you thought, like, this is the coolest car on the planet?
Yeah, in the 90s we had a prototype called Riley Scott, and it just flew around here. And it was a little bit primitive for compared to what we have now. But when you put it on and just went flying around here, it was like this track was really great for high downforce cars like that, and you could just really thrash the car around here.
Was there? We're jealous. At least I am in NASCAR because you get to run the boot around here. Like, what is the coolest section? Because for me, like, going up through the S's and Cup qualifying, you're holding your breath. But the boot, I've driven in iRacing, but, like, what section on this track that you would just have to hold your breath in a race car like that?
Actually, the last turn here was probably the most challenging because, like in a NASCAR, in every car, it looks quite a bit sharper than it really is. You can carry a ton of speed, as you know, but it's pretty intimidating to build up to that because the wall is very close to you and you're headed towards it for quite a while. But the boot is very fun. You go charging down into it. There's not much runoff though, so there's pretty high consequences if you make a mistake, which I have a few times.
Pit lane is open. All the lead cars look like they're going to stay on the racetrack this time by. So much fun. A lot of joy having you at the racetrack with us again. Butch Leitzinger, always fun, friend of Mission Foods. Thank you for coming up and joining us.
And thank you very much, and enjoy the race.
Absolutely. 3-time Rolex 24 winner A.J. Allmendinger has won the Rolex 24 at Daytona as well. We're among racing royalty up here in the broadcast booth as we work the Hardy's caution flag for the second time today.
Down here, Ryan Blaney gets 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does.
Sunoco cans injected into the car, bubble wall is down and away.
All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR, from the track to your tank. Sunoco, the official fuel of NASCAR.
NASCAR fans, iRacing Studios brings you NASCAR 25. Race hundreds of the biggest stars of the sport on top tracks from Daytona to Sonoma. Start your career in the ARCA Menard Series and work your way up to Cup while managing team members, sponsors, and more. Or compete online with NASCAR fans around the world. NASCAR 25, available on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Head to NASCAR25.com to buy now.
From Watkins Glen International, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
We're at the start-finish line.
William Byron on pole position. Green flag is out and we're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin bump.
We're on pit road.
Four tires Sunoco Racing Fuel. The race up from pit road is Denny Hamlin. Eric Jones goes off.
We are live from the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station at MRN or NASCAR.com.
Welcome to more.
Green flag is in the air.
More action. More awesome. More smoke. More sizzle. More soar. More roar. More friends. More family. Welcome to the one place where no matter who you are, you'll leave with something you'll never forget. Welcome to NASCAR.
Motor Racing Network's Crew Call with Steve Post and Todd Gordon, wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube.
We welcome you back to Watkins Glen International as we work the Hardy's caution flag for the second time today. Two-car incident over in turn number 1. LeVar Scott, Jeremy Clements. Clements got the worst of that as he was wedged up underneath the tire barrier, but is able to get the car refired and continued on. Mike, we're getting set for a restart as the field comes to the Poet restart zone.
Side by side, Shane Van Gisbergen and Connor Zilic going to stack it up there. Zilic is the control car. Restarts to the outside of SVG, and they are on it. Here they come up to the gearbox. Green flag back in the air. We are racing again at Watkins Glen. Two heavyweight title contenders side by side. Zilic and Van Gisbergen leaning on one another as they head to turn 1.
Once again, dancing cheek to cheek through turn 1, but this time SVG is going to come away with the lead. Shane Van Gisbergen to turn 2. He's up by a car length. Connor Zilic rides in second. Another car length back to the third place machine is Sammy Smith. Then it's Jesse Love in 4th.
First time today, Connor Zilic has been passed, but here he comes. Peeking back to the inside is Shane Van Gisbergen to retake the top spot. SVG leads into the inner loop. Zilic settles in the line in second, now into turn 5. Sammy Smith fading just a bit in third. Then it's Jesse Love and Brent Cruz as they've singled out at the front.
Shane Van Gisbergen may be the leader, but Connor Zilic has got something to say about that. He is right on the back bumper of SVG, headed down the short straightaway. Only a half a car length separating the top 2 in the battle for the top spot. Through turn 6, they are mirroring each other going back to turn 7.
Stay that way in turn number 7. Shane Van Gisbergen has the lead. He does have a mirror full of Connor Zilic. That changes. Zilic will slip out of line, pull even to driver's right. Side by side for the lead, but by the time they get to turn 1, Connor Zilic has the race lead.
Zilic slides through driver's right to take over the number 1 spot. SVG's on the counterattack. He's looking back to the inside through turn number 2. Slammed the door, did Connor Zilic. They have broken away by about 8 car lengths. They were on 1 and 2. Sammy Smith, and now here comes Brent Cruz trying to take 4th away from Jesse Love.
Goes to the outside. Jesse Love to the inside. They are side by side for position number 5 up the back straightaway. Taylor Gray a part of that battle as well, along with Justin Allgaier. At the front, Connor Zilic back to the front of the field. Car length and a half over Shane Van Gisbergen. 5 more back to third place running Sammy Smith through turn 5.
That's how they run in the top 3, and those 3 cars are single file at a turn number 5. 4th right now is Brent Cruz. He was able to move around Jesse Love in the 5th position a moment ago. Behind Jesse Love in the 6th spot, you've got Justin Allgaier, Taylor Gray, Sam Mayer, and Austin Hill behind Allgaier to turn 7.
When the leaders come back to the start-finish line, they will complete lap 30, which leaves us 10 laps to go in stage 2. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. 10 laps remain in Stage 2 of the Mission 200 at the Glen. Motor Racing Network is with you live at Watkins Glen International in upstate New York. So glad you're spending your Saturday afternoon with us here on the Motor Racing Network. Mike Bagley alongside Alex Hayden, Todd Gordon, and A.J. Allmendinger in the tower. Turn coverage today from Dave Moody, Kyle Rickey, and Tim Catalfemo, with Steve Post and Jason Toy in the pits and in the garage area. If you are just joining us, Brent Cruz led early on, 19 laps to be exact. Right now, the lead is in the hands of Connor Zilic. We have just gone back under the green flag, and it's Connor Zilic and Shane Van Gisbergen teeter-tottering the battle for the lead. Sammy Smith, Brent Cruz, Jesse Love are the top 5 as we continue under the green flag.
Working their way around the race course is Shane Van Gisbergen is celebrating a birthday today. 37 years of age is Shane Van Gisbergen, trying to win on his birthday. It's only been done one other time in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Happened in 2016 at the Talladega Super Speedway, where Elliott Sadler won on his 41st birthday. We continue under the green. 9 to go in stage number 2. Connor Zilic, the race leader.
Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods. Mission Foods is proud to be the official tortilla, wrap, and tortilla chip company of Watkins Glen International. From fully loaded tacos to fast wraps and piled high nachos, Mission has everything you need to take your race day all the way to the finish line. So keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
Every hero's story has a humble beginning. Every legend had to earn their stripes.
Guys like me aren't supposed to do that!
Every superstar had a dream.
It's been a fairy tale season.
Every home track is the start of something special.
That's just good old short track racing.
Oh, a little retaliation.
Holy cow!
Learn more about NASCAR regional tracks near you at NASCAR.com/regional.
Connor Zilic continues to show the way. It's 1 full second now over Shane Van Gisbergen in second. Another 9/10 of a second back to Brent Cruz, who runs third. Then Sammy Smith fourth, and Jesse Love rounds out the top 5. From Watkins Glen International, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Pack your crew and ignite your weekend. Michigan summers don't whisper, they roar. Camp under the sun at NASCAR's fastest track. The Firekeepers Casino 400. Fast cars, loud engines, and chaos. The ultimate summer kickoff. Michigan never looked this good.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Michigan International Speedway. June 5th through 7th. Get your tickets now at mispeedway.com.
The year was 1993. The NASCAR Cup Series season kicked off with the Dale and Dale Show at the Daytona 500.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. He goes to the inside. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500 by STP. Earnhardt second. The
1993 NASCAR Cup Series season. All the highs and lows. Relive them all on MRN's exclusive podcast, The 1993 Season. Available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
This is Sammy Smith. You are listening to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on the Motor Racing Network.
We welcome you back to Watkins Glen, to Mission Foods at the Glen, as we now, Mike, work our third Hardy's Caution Flag that just happened right now in turn 7.
It comes out at lap 34. LeVar Scott spun around on corner exit, and he's left the bumper cover on the start-finish line as that thing basically spirals its way and pinwheels down the front stretch. LeVar's able to continue on. The bumper covers on the front straightaway, and LeVar, flying the Sunoco colors today, will put us under caution flag number 3.
So as the field will slow things down, we're 7 laps from the end of stage 2. Todd Gordon, pit lane will open up. We'll go through our normal caution flag procedures here. You know the question. Do you pit right now? Do you continue to soldier on and wait and stay disciplined on your strategy?
Yeah, you do one of those two. It depends on your track position and where you are. I think if you want to make a stab at working on your car, this is an opportunity to come here, maybe not come at the end of the stage. 49 to go, you're still outside the window of making it, but this would be an opportunity to one stop beyond this if you want to work in your race car.
Steve Post, what's the body language? Anybody getting ready to perhaps maybe come down for service?
Keeping an eye on things. I don't believe the front runners are talking about that. Listening to Shane Van Gisberger's conversation, they're just talking about the setup of the car and what the car is doing. Traditionally, they can go into stage number 3, and that's kind of the winning strategy the last few years, was not even stopping at the end of stage number 2 and just stopping somewhere early in stage number 3. So I see some conversation down here, but I don't see a lot of movement down here among the front runners to come down pit road at this time. I'm with Todd, though. If you're mid-pack or somewhere back there think you need to make an adjustment on the car, I think we're going to see somebody come down and at least work on their automobile.
So far, they're all proving us wrong, Steve. You've got no takers. We'll see where that plays out.
Yeah, pit road is closed right now at the moment. LeVar Scott's the only one that is going to come to pit lane, and that is because he was the one involved in the crash. He's going to make his way down right now just to get some work done on the backside of that race car as he left some of the debris out there on turn number 7, which the AMR safety team has gone out and retrieved.
So 34 laps in. AJ, some observations from you, what you've seen so far.
Yeah, talking about strategy, there's no doubt and probably no shock that there's 3 dominant cars right now between SVG, Connor Zilic, Brent Cruz. So here's my thought. You know you're not going to probably beat these guys straight up on the racetrack right now, so you might have to do the opposite of what they do. If you're Justin Allgaier, Jesse Love, Sam Mayer, those guys, you know, that have enough speed to kind of run your 4th through 8th range, knowing that you're not going to go run in the top 3 without something happening to these guys, you might have to do whatever the opposite that they do.
Do you think that you race against those 3, or are you racing against everybody that's left in the top 10 and put yourself at a disadvantage? Do you get nervous about that?
You definitely do, and it all is based off of where you're at in points as well. Do you need these stage points? Looking at the lap times right before the caution flag flew, the lap times hadn't dropped off yet, so you're not going to go put on tires with 3 to go and just go blitzing through the field again. So that's something else that you have to kind of take into consideration. But we're here to win. We're not here to run 4th through 8th if we don't have to. So if you're going out there with the thought process of we need to win, then you're probably going to have to do something different than the top 3 guys right now.
You obviously have now found a home with Kaulig Racing in the NASCAR Cup Series. You used to be a mainstay in this series. How has this series evolved over the years, given the new talent that's come in this sport and in this series?
I think we have so much young talent now. To be honest, I would say about 7-8 years ago, the O'Reilly Series, you had a couple of really strong guys, but the field wasn't that deep. Now you look at this field. It's 14, 15, 16 cars deep every week. That doesn't shock you. Yeah, you got your mainstream guys that if they win, you're not shocked by it. But you can go down the line between 12 to 14 guys that if they go win the race that weekend, it doesn't completely shock you to think that they never have a shot. So it's super deep now. The young talent, they put a lot of effort into road course racing and oval racing.
Do you miss racing on Saturdays?
My body doesn't.
That's fair. That's fair. When you say that, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'm old and my body's sore, so I'm just trying to get our Cup program. As we see, Raja Caruth, first guy on pit road, and Harrison Burton running down. There's only about 2 or 3 of them. Carson Kvapil as well.
Let's follow the car of Raja Caruth as he makes his way all the way down to pit lane. He started today's race first, and he's going to pull in front of Steve Post.
And he's in the very first pit box down here. Raja Caruth is. The field was set on the basis of, Brandon Jones is in the first pit box. Raja's in about pit box number 6. Here he is. Raja's been fighting a loose condition on the race car and just can't seem to keep the rear tires under the car. I think they're in the category to come in and make some adjustments on the race car and try to make this race car a little bit better. They've got us the right side work on the car, sent him down and away. Jason Toy, looking up toward you, I see race cars, and I see a tire in the middle of pit road also.
Yeah, see, it's kind of hobbling right in the middle of the lane on the pit lane, trying to figure out where that came from, but I can tell you that Carson Kvapil came in, joint effort between DGM Racing and Junior Motorsports for him in that car. Normally, you see him in the 1 car. He's in a 91 today, so he's trying to make the adjustments to go forward, started towards the back of the pack. So Carson Kvapil trying to work his way with some adjustments on his race car as Jeremy Clements goes back to the garage. Steve Post.
That loose tire on the racetrack belongs to the car of Kyle Sieg. When Carson Kvapil came out of his pit box, he hit a crew member on the Kyle Sieg pit crew, and that pit crew member was carrying that tire. That crew member was down for just a moment, got up, changed the rear tire, and is hobbled back over the wall, and no doubt will get some attention from some medical professionals. That was a scary moment on pit road.
Yeah, he was sandwiched between the nose of Quapple's car and the back of the Kyle Sieg car. He had just gotten up out of the crouch from changing the left rear to run around the back of the car per normal routine, where Quapple, pulling out of his pit box, crushed him in between the cars. It was very scary down there. Glad to see that he's at least gotten up and shaken himself off. He's getting some medical attention right now behind the pit wall.
Good to see that he was able to get up and is able to make his way over to the pit cart and will make his way to the infield care center. But a very scary moment for that crew member from Kyle Sieg's car, or pit crew, I should say. The car is back out on the racetrack. They have retrieved that tire, and matter of fact, the field has gotten the one to go. They made the choose coming into the inner loop, and here we go, getting ready to go back under the green flag. When they come to the line, it'll be 4 laps to go in stage 2. Connor Zilic leads, Shane Van Gisbergen second, Brent Cruz is third, Sammy Smith fourth, Jesse Love is fifth, Justin Allgaier will restart in sixth, Sam Mayer will restart in position number 7, with Austin Hill in 8th, Taylor Gray in 9th, and Corey Day, once again driving for Hendrick Motorsports, he will restart the Mission 200 in the 10th position.
Pace car is going to get on the gas and get away from the field and get to the pit lane. As the field works 2 by 2, they got to get to the restart zone, where we had some issues yesterday in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race, with a couple of teams being busted for jumping the restart. Everybody clean and green up off turn number 7 as we're back at it here. 4 laps to go, stage number 2. Shane Van Gisbergen to driver's left in his orange and black Kubota Chevrolet. To his right, that's Connor Zilic as they go under braking to turn 1.
Zilic gets the advantage into turn number 1. SVG will slide back into the second spot, but maybe not for long. Brent Cruz is on the attack. He'll slide through driver's right. Move Cruz to the number 2 spot. He's not done yet. Oh, over the back bumper of Connor Zilic as they race to the back straightaway.
Maintains the race lead at the top of the hill, out of turn 4 and onto that back straightaway. It's Connor Zilic at the point. Brent Cruz in the second spot. Shane Van Gisbergen settles in the line in third. Side-by-side racing through the inner loop for fourth, and a bit of contact between Jesse Love, who settles in the line just behind Justin Allgaier and Sammy Smith. That allows the top 3 cars to break away.
And up front, the battle for the lead tightens out of turn number 5. Here comes Brent Cruz applying pressure behind the race leader, Connor Zilic. They are nose to tail, about a half a car length apart, fighting for the lead. Further back outside of the top 5, it is a hornet's nest right now as drivers are leaning on each other.
Sam Mayer, one of those drivers doing the leaning. Here they come off turn number 7. Connor Zilic's mirror is filled with Brent Cruz. Shane Van Gisbergen has faded about 5 car lengths back from this ongoing battle for the lead as we're nearing the end of stage 2.
Leaders have been able to put SVG in the third place car back at arm's length right now, so it's a 2-man battle at the front of the field. Coming up through the S's, it is Connor Zilic, just a foot or so off the front bumper of Brent Cruz. Cruz, for the moment, will follow in his tire crash.
Will fall in the line, 1 car length back for Brent Cruz. Top 2 drive away from Shane Van Gisbergen, then a large gap back to Justin Allgaier. Under braking into the inner loop, that quick combination, that right-left, left-right combination of corners, everybody through without incident as they come to turn number 5, and it continues to be Connor Zilic leading the way.
Connor Zilic in a Chevrolet, Brent Cruz in a Toyota. The top 2 cars on the racetrack. Third right now, all by himself for the moment, is Shane Van Gisbergen. Then fourth you find Justin Allgaier. Allgaier has been able to break free and clear of Jesse Love in the 5th position. Taylor Gray is 6th. Sammy Smith, Austin Hill, Sam Mayer, and Brandon Jones, the top 10.
2 laps to go this time by in stage number 2. Connor Zilic shows the way. Brent Cruz second. Cruz, the 2023 SCCA Trans Am TA2 Pro-Am Series champion, trying to gain the lead back here at Watkins Glen.
Brent Cruz, one of the up-and-coming young lions of NASCAR National Series racing, just getting every lap under his belt that he can on these race weekends, and right now it is paying off. He is right there in the hip pocket of Connor Zilic as they race 1-2.
Those laps have been toward the front of the field for much of the afternoon here at Watkins Glen. Second right now within a car length of race leader Connor Zilic, another one of the series' young guns. Shane Van Gisbergen continues to ride in third. Justin Allgaier fourth. Jesse Love to round out the top 5, but but all eyes are at the front of the field. Will Brent Cruz make a move? Peeks to drivers right at the exit of turn 5 on Zilich.
This battle for the lead is the best battle on the racetrack right now. Brent Cruz down the short straightaway, pokes a headlight to the inside of Connor Zilich for a moment, now tucks in line, under braking, turning their cars to the left through turn number 6. Zilich has got the lead, but Brent Cruz is right there.
Chevy and Toyota battle for the lead, coming to the final lap of stage 2. Here they are off turn number 7. Connor Zilich is the first one to meet the front straightaway. Brent Cruz right there with him. They have opened it up by about 7 car lengths over Shane Van Gisbergen. Final lap of stage 2 underway, and the battle for the lead is ongoing at the end of the front stretch.
Cruz has spent the last lap testing the waters, peaking high, peaking low, trying to find himself a spot that he can challenge Connor Zilich for the lead. Here they come up through the S's. Turn 2, turn 3. Now to the top of the hill in turn 4. No move yet by Cruz.
It's the Junior Motorsports Chevrolet out front by a car length, driven by Connor Zilich. The Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota right there in second. That is Brent Cruz. 1 and 2. They are free and clear of traffic through the inner loop for the final time here in stage number 2. Now into turn number 5. Again, Cruz cannot make a move on the race leader as they exit turn 5 and hit the short straightaway.
Both these cars are equal right now, just mirroring each other going around this facility at Watkins Glen International. This time down the short straightaway, it is Connor Zilich, the race leader, who's able to drive away from Brent Cruz by about 2 car lengths. That's how they run back to turn 7.
Connor Zilich up off of turn number 7, coming to the green and white checkered flag, and Connor Zilich will be the first to the line. Connor Zilich will win stage number 2 of the Mission Foods 200 at the Glen. Top 10 will receive championship points. Brent Cruz, who will finish second in the stage. Stage number 1 did Cruz. Finishes second in this one. Shane Van Gisbergen finishes the stage 3rd. Justin Allgaier 4th. Jesse Love 5th. Taylor Gray 6th. Austin Hill 7th. Sam Mayer was 8th. Sammy Smith 9th. And Brandon Jones finishes the stage 10th. And for the 4th time today, the caution is out. Presented on MRN by Hardee's.
Hey NASCAR fans, top speeds are for the track, not the streets. Speeding claims the lives of one person every 35 hours in New York State. It's not worth the risk. When you get behind the wheel, watch your speed and be sure that every passenger buckles up every seat, every trip, every time. Wearing a seatbelt is the single most effective way to protect yourself inside a vehicle. Each year, 15,000 lives are saved by wearing a seatbelt. The New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee is reminding you to slow down, buckle up, and always drive sober.
For 250 years, America has been more than a place. It's been a promise, a story of courage, hope, and dreams. And through it all, local TV and radio broadcasters have been there, telling the story of America, bringing truth to light. Broadcasters tell the story of who we are and who we aspire to be. We are America's storytellers. We are broadcasters. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
From Watkins Glen International, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-212-2828. 800-212-2828. That's 800-212-2828.
Every time the siren sounds or lights flash, someone's life is on the line. At Wheelan Engineering, we know first responders carry that weight every day. That's why for over 70 years, we've led the emergency warning industry, designing and manufacturing the lights, sirens, and safety systems they trust right here in America. Because when the mission is critical, there's no room for second best. Wheelan Engineering, trusted to protect first responders.
Help make a difference by visiting victoryjunction.org/donate.
Follow along with the Motor Racing Network Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube.
Back here at Watkins Glen International as we work the Hardee's caution for the 4th time today. Connor Zilich is the Stage 2 winner, and he'll have the field at his back bumper. Now, do you stay out and play a strategy call here, Todd, or do you come to pit lane once it opens up?
I think there'll be several that will stay out here because that Stage 1 stop gets them where I think they can connect again. We don't see the lap time degradation in this O'Reilly series that we do in Cup practice. So I think you'll see a lot of guys stay out here, but the guys out back probably keep working on their car, put themselves in a little different position.
Clearly, the class of the field, Connor Zilich, Brent Cruz, Shane Van Gisbergen, and then you have everybody else. Those three have really separated themselves here today, and all three have taken turns leading. Brent's led 19 laps. Connor, when he comes to the line, will lead his 18th. SVG has led 2, but he's been in the mix as well. The restarts have been very interesting, watching Connor and SVG toggle back and forth. And listen, everybody has had a chance to watch SVG and learn his game, and right now I think the tables have been turned just a tad.
Well, I'm not so sure he hasn't just been saving his race car, because there's been a handful of times today he's just pulled over and let guys go. That's not a normal thing, I don't think. So I'm not so sure he's just saving a race car for later on.
We'll find out as we get to the later reaches of this race. When they come back to the line, it'll be 40 laps to go, and it'll set up quite the interesting dynamic between Zilich, Cruz, Van Gisbergen. Then you have A.J. Allmendinger, Jesse Love. They're all in the mix as well.
So as the field works...
Did you just say I was in the race?
Did I say A.J. Allmendinger?
Yeah,
I'm not in the race. That's probably Justin Allgaier. We're the same height, so that's okay.
Wow.
I get that, yeah.
I was looking at you while trying to say that, but yes, it's Justin Allgaier fourth right now. Hey, you're having a heck of a run.
I mean,
this
is what I do. I drive race cars and help make the MRN broadcast a lot better.
Here comes the field up off of turn 7, pit lane open. Everybody's coming in with the exception of Brent Cruz. Jesse Love's going to stay out. His Richard Childress Racing teammate Austin Hill stays out among others. We start our pit coverage with Jason Toy.
The Justin Allgaier hits his mark. They're going to go to work on the left side. They got the chassis wrench out. They're going to work that in as well. Also, they're putting a piece of tape on the front grille for Justin Allgaier. 4-tire Sunoco fuel for him. Ross Chastain is in. Corey Day is in on the first section of pit road. Steve Post.
Shane Van Gisbergen is in, and the balance on that race car is not what he wanted. He was talking it over with his crew chief, and they just said, if you're not happy, we're not going to win this race. They decided to come in, and they're going to make a balance change on the race car. When we talk about Connor, and they bounce off each other, Connor Zilich and Shane Van Gisbergen nearly bounced off each other, or maybe they did make contact there. Connor Zilich's story is a little bit different. Rodney Childress queued up the radio. Yeah, as a matter of fact, there is damage right now on the front of Shane Van Gisbergen's car. Connor Zilich's strategy was they want to be on offense with fresh tires. Rodney Childress wanted to win the race off from pit road and did not believe many cars would stay out and figure with Connor being as good as he is, he could race right back to the front. They will still need to make, though, a quick pit stop. They cannot make it to the end of the race.
Big damage to the left front of Shane Van Gisbergen's car. Questionable about Connor Zilich's left rear. Or right rear, I should say. We'll recap all of that for you in a moment and bring you up to speed on Shane Van Gisbergen's car, who now is displaying smoke under this fourth Hardy's caution of the day.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Race Day Wisdom.
Ditch the peanuts and never, ever shave on race day. Why mess with what works? NASCAR fans know. So does Straight Talk Wireless, holding the line with the same price since 2009. And get this, free 5G phones for new and existing customers.
Straight Talk, an official partner of NASCAR. Available at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. Same price since 2009 applies only to base monthly price of the $45 Straight Talk plan from 10/16/09 to present. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC, and is used with permission. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for offer.
NASCAR history.
What I learned from Ken Squire, Barney Hall, and Ned Jarrett, I could never repay. Ken never told me what to say or what not to say. I learned very quickly that I was never going to be another Ken Squire. I don't think anybody could rise to that level.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcasts 50 years of MRN. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
An update on Shane Van Gisbergen in a moment. We continue under caution from Watkins Glen International. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The thrills of NASCAR racing from over 55 years of Motor Racing Network broadcasts.
Bobby Allison brings the race car right down in the middle of the track, crosses the start-finish line, and he will win the 24th annual Daytona 500.
Bill Elliott wins the Hooters 500. Alan Kulwicki, 1992 champion.
MRN Classic Races.
In the whole pack, steaming for the finish line, Dale Earnhardt wins the Winston 500.
Find all the classic moments on MRN Classic Races on any podcast platform.
NASCAR fans, the time is now to turn your love of racing into free tickets, merchandise, VIP experiences, and much, much more. Rack up fan rewards points by watching races at home, playing fantasy, completing challenges, and visiting tracks. Then redeem your points for epic prizes. You are in the driver's seat. What are you waiting for? Sign up for the free NASCAR Fan Rewards loyalty program today at NASCAR.com/fan-rewards.
This is Nick Sanchez. You are listening to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on the Motor Racing Network.
Damage on the left front for Shane Van Gisbergen brings him back to pit road at lap 43. C-Post.
Crew is around working on the left front of that automobile where he bounced off from Connor Zilich's car, and they're working on trying to reattach the splitter on the bottom of it, and then the front bumper cover also as well. Fender was down on the wheel also, so they're just trying to make sure that they get all the clearance as everything is working on the front end of the car. Good news here at Watkins Glen is pace laps are very, very long, so they've got a good amount of time to work on the car. So that's the story on Shane Van Gisbergen. Connor Zilich stayed on the racetrack. The way pit road is here is that the right side of his car is what they were worried about. The car rolled down the front straightaway. Rodney Childers had a really good look. He's the crew chief on that car. Had a good look at it, and he feels like the right rear damage is not significant enough to bring him down pit road. So crew taking their time on SVG's car, though, to make sure they get the left front of this car all buttoned up and ready to go back out and race. And he's got a bunch of cars to pass because he'll be starting at the back of the field.
NASCAR Cup Series picks their pit boxes, Todd Gordon, based off of how they qualify on that race weekend, i.e. Cup cars qualified earlier today. They pick their pit boxes for tomorrow. That's not how they do it in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and there's a reason why Shane Van Gisbergen is in the box that he's in.
Yeah, they pick in the O'Reilly Series, they pick off the finish of the previous race, and they'll pick during the week. The 9 car at Texas had a lug nut missing, which cost them their pit selection position for here at Watkins Glen. That kind of put them in a position where they're stuffed in the middle of pit road, and these boxes are really, really short. To try to get in and out of them, it's pretty aggressive moves. An unfortunate situation where teammates kind of got together, but unfortunate from Texas, they didn't have the opportunity to pick off a fairly fast car.
SVG has returned to the racetrack. The field is getting the one to go on the backside of the course right now. He is going to have a lot of work to do to get back to the front. AJ, you've been looking at the left front. What is your take on the damage and how that will affect him going forward in these last 38 laps?
Yeah, looking at it there with the piece of the fender missing, if we were at Sonoma and this happened, I don't think that would be a big deal. But here at Watkins Glen, such high speed up through the S's and just the nature of this racetrack, that aero sensitivity at the front of his race car is going to really drastically change how his car handles.
We'll find out if the right rear of Connor Zilich is dinged up any worse for wear once the full load gets put on that rear tire as we go back under the green flag here at Watkins Glen. Brent Cruz is the race leader. RCR Chevrolet teammates stack up for second. That's Austin Hill to driver's left and Jesse Love to driver's right.
Cruz quickly away with the lead by about a car length as they exit turn number 1. Last time by, I got a look at the Connor Zilich car. Virtually no damage at all on that right rear corner. Should not be a factor the rest of the way. Brent Cruz getting away quickly. He's opened that lead up to 5 now. 6 car lengths.
Has wasted little time getting away at the front of the field, at the top of the hill, and onto the back straightaway. Talking about Brent Cruz, the race leader. Austin Hill has moved to the second spot. Jesse Love third. Connor is in the fourth position. That's Corey Day in position number 4. Brandon Jones to round out the top 5. They have singled out as Brent Cruz has built a 4-car length advantage.
That's how the top 5 run out of the carousel, and indeed, Brent Cruz continues to extend his lead over second place driver Austin Hill. It is up to about 7 car lengths this time in turn number 6. Further back, Connor Zilich maneuvers around the machine of Blaine Perkins. Behind them, Justin Allgaier 3 wide with Preston Parnas and Sheldon Creed.
They sorted out now at the entrance of turn number 7. The pit window is about to open for the final pit stop. The question is, who comes and when do they make that final pit stop? Right now, all eyes at the front of the field. Brent Cruz leads with 37 to go at Watkins Glen.
And he continues to just shrug off the remainder of the field. What was a 5-car length advantage last time by is at least double that over Austin Hill. Another 10 or 12 back to Jesse Lowe.
And they stack up from 4th on back. That's where Corey Days sits, running among the top 5 for the first time today since the restart. Just in front of Brandon Jones, Parker Retzloff, Rajah Caruth, and then a good battle just into the top 10, and it involves Connor Zillage trying to gain some of that lost ground. Goes to the outside of Taylor Gray, now makes the pass on Carson Quapple through turn number 5.
Taylor Gray starting to drop backwards a little bit. Connor Zillage, though, meanwhile, trying to move forward again. He is moving around Carson Quapple. So is Taylor Gray down the short straightaway. Now the next car for position for Connor Zillage to pass is the machine of Harrison Burton.
Off turn 7, leaders come back to the line. Brent Cruz's lead last lap was 1.1 seconds over Austin Hill. Now, as they complete lap 47, it's 1.6 seconds with 36 laps remaining. And the caution flag is out, and Sheldon Creed has a problem on the racetrack. That car we see on NASCAR TV on a replay has gotten up and in the air. Matter of fact, it happened leaving the inner loop, and Sheldon Creed now will bring out Hardy's caution number 5.
What makes Toyota Racing Toyota Racing? It's not just how we drive, it's why we drive. Bubba Wallace drives with resilience, building himself back up with a Toyota team that never lets him stay down. Jade Evadisian drives with determination to be faster, sharper, every lap, every day. Christopher Bell drives with inspiration, because when talent meets the perfect team, you don't just win, you inspire what comes next. Toyota Racing, your race, your story. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
Gear up. Visit the NASCAR shop online to find all of your favorite officially licensed NASCAR product. The NASCAR shop is the official online store of NASCAR and your destination for all of your favorite hats, t-shirts, die-casts, and more. Whether tailgating, homegating, or anything in between, visit NASCAR.com/shop for the widest assortment and best selection of NASCAR gear today.
Back at Watkins Glen under Hardy's caution number 5 brought out when Sheldon Creed got wide at the exit of the inner loop. He got over in the grass. We've had a lot of rain here, and we've had a lot of mud. He got forced off the track, it looked like by Justin Allgaier or someone else, and as he was trying to get back on the racetrack, the splitter dug in and basically got ripped off, and he popped a wheelie, and he got airborne outside of the inner loop.
That looked like one of my wedge shots. that looked like after one of my best drives ever, and then my 90-yard wedge shot in. That's about what it looks like right there.
No judgment, though. We are under caution from Watkins Glen International. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options now available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-375-3232. 800-375-3232. That's 800-375-3232. National Debt Relief, the official debt relief partner of NASCAR.
This is Justin Allgaier. You're listening to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on the Motor Racing Network.
Under Hardy's caution number 5 in the Mission 200 at Watkins Glen International, Sheldon Creed with a wild ride at the exit to the inner loop has brought us under the caution flag. And Todd Gordon, that raises the question. We got 35 laps to go. Is this the opportunity that folks will seize to come down for their final pit stop?
This is an opportunity. This is one that could play. It's outside the fuel window. If we went green from here, I think there'd be several people in trouble. But if you look back 2 years ago when Connor Zilic won here first, he came at lap 48. It will be lap 48 that we would open pit road. So this could be a playback of what Zilic did 2 years ago. Needed to save some fuel from that point forward. But I think everybody's got to come at this point. AJ, Zilic is probably in a good spot.
Yeah, I think that probably worked out as good as it could have for Connor Zilic, because I don't think he was going to run down Brent Cruz enough as all the pit stop sequence started to make up that time gap, and that was advantage Brent Cruz. Well, now what's going to happen, I think you have to take the opportunity to pit, and even if you have to maybe start lifting early, saving a little bit of fuel, but those guys that pitted during the stage break took their tires and everything, they're going to come in now, top off. Everybody else that didn't probably is going to have to take tires, take longer filling up. It's going to flip-flop the field to where I think Connor Zilic may be leading this race when we go back green.
So for the comment you just made about lifting early and for those scratching their head, how do you go about saving fuel on a road course?
So on a road course, it's almost a little bit easier at times than on a bigger oval, the Michigans, those types of places. You start lifting early, which allows you to be able to drive into the corner deeper. But if you lift early down the straightaway, you're not carrying as much speed. You drive in deeper. That's how you minimize the lap time loss. And by doing that, you're saving fuel, still trying to run a relatively good lap time. And that's the best way that you can go about just trying to coast and not hit a lot of brakes.
Pit lane is open this time by. We'll see if anybody elects to come in under this Hardy's caution. Here's the old fake from Brent Cruz. He's going to stay on the track after looking like he was going to come in. It's about half and half at the front of the field. Austin Hill, the first to hit his box.
Yeah, the RCR Chevrolet is Jesse Love about 4 pit stalls in front of Austin Hill. They're going to come in. They're going to put on left side tires. First can of Sunoco fuel goes in. They'll swing around to the right side. 4 tire stop for both the RCR cars. Also, Ross Chastain is in. He's going fuel only. Steve Post.
Parker Retzlaff is in. Going to be 4 tires Sunoco Racing fuel. Fuel only for Taylor Gray. Fuel only. He gets down and away as well. Listen to the conversation on Brent Cruz's radio, the conversation on Connor Zilic's radio. They just do not feel comfortable they can make it to the end. Cars are running faster this year, burning more fuel with the cooler temperatures, and neither one of those crew chiefs thought they could comfortably make it to the end, and they kept both those cars on differing strategies, but still both of them remained on the racetrack.
Interesting fake job coming into pit road. Some pit, some stay out. We'll recap it for you as 34 laps remain here at the Glen.
Hey NASCAR fans, get the NASCAR app. Join My Rewards, and every combo purchase on the app gives you a chance to win an exclusive Talladega experience, race ticket, and other awesome NASCAR prizes. And when the Hardee's number 23 car gets a top 10 finish, we also throw you a code for a free 3-piece hand-breaded chicken tender with a large string purchase. The wins just keep coming. Get the app. Join My Rewards, only at Hardee's.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 or older in the 50 United States or District of Columbia, excluding New York and Rhode Island. And a Hardee's My Rewards member with web device. Begins 4/15/26, ends 6/16/26. Rules at Hardee's.com/victory lap.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
We continue under Hardy's caution number 5 at Watkins Glen. Brent Cruz stays on the racetrack and maintains the lead. Corey Day stays out. He'll go to second. Brandon Jones goes to third. We'll recap it all for you in a moment. From Watkins Glen International, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
You've never been one to idly watch someone else do something for you. There's pride in self-reliance, in working with your hands, in harnessing the power of an E3 spark plug with Diamond Fire technology, yielding better engine performance. You have a choice to make. Take control of your ride, of your life, or be the passenger princess of it. Visit e3sparkplugs.com to put the power in your hands.
Hi, Coca-Cola, iRacing, and NASCAR.
Hi, I'm Kyle Petty, and I want to tell you about a place that's near and dear to my heart. Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by getting involved today. Whether you know a child who could benefit, want to volunteer, or join our team, you can be a part of something truly special. Learn more by visiting victoryjunction.org.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Coast to Coast podcast with Chris Wilner. All about grassroots racing.
Back at Watkins Glen International, we are working towards conclusion of the Mission 200 after a very interesting cycle of pit stops that had Brent Cruz staying on the racetrack, but others, including the Richard Childress Racing teammates of Austin Hill and Jesse Love, they came down for pit service. Others did as well. So it's Brent Cruz leading. Corey Day will restart in second. Brandon Jones third. Rajah Caruth stays out. He'll go to fourth. Harrison Burton fifth. Connor Zilic gets bumped up to sixth. Carson Quapple in seventh, Sam Mayers eighth, Sammy Smith ninth, and Justin Allgaier will restart in 10th.
Top 20 cars stayed on the racetrack, so those who came to pit lane will fall back. 21st, Taylor Gray will be the first of those cars that came off of pit lane. So, Todd, assuming those top 20 cars, the play now is to hope for more caution flags.
Yeah, you need another opportunity. I think you need another opportunity to get to pit road. These guys would really like it to be 5 or 6 laps from now to be comfortable coming forward. But this is one, if it went green from here, I think the 54 Gray looks like he's in a good position.
So we'll see how it plays out. There are still 33 laps to go when they come back around. Hopefully get the green flag. They give the one to go on road courses on the backside of the course, so we'll find out if they get the one to go this time by. Either way, 32 laps to go here in the Mission 200 at the Glen. AJ, where do you like to be in this strategy scenario?
I mean, it all comes down to if you thought you had enough fuel, or if there was even a remote chance of making it. You know, I think that number on a road course is usually around 3 to 4 laps. Anything more than that, you know that you're probably going to have to pit unless you get a lot of yellows. I think what you're hoping for as the leaders is that you run 10 laps. To 10 to, I would say, about 14 laps, caution comes out. You know that those guys, even if they stay out, are going to need to probably come get tires, or they're just sitting ducks. But yeah, this is a tough situation. If you're Brent Cruz, you're kind of in no man's land, and then on top of it, I think this does help Connor Zilic in the battle with Brent Cruz because he has a lot fresher tires and now is only starting 2 rows back.
If you're wondering why we're not talking about Shane Van Gisbergen, he had contact with Connor Zilic on pit road about 10 laps ago. They had to repair the left front of Shane's car. He will restart in the 16th position, and as of now, we don't anticipate him being a factor for the win. It seems like as we narrow down our focus, Alex, that focus draws in on Brent Cruz with special guest stars Corey Day and others.
Yeah, Brandon Jones, Rajah Caruth back in the top 5. He started today's race from the number 1 starting spot based off of the metric from a week ago. Harrison Burton will be 5th. Then it's Connor Zilic, Carson Quapple, Sam Mayer, Sammy Smith, and Justin Allgaier.
It'll be the Joe Gibbs Racing teammates of Brent Cruz and Brandon Jones that will restart on the front row. Leaders come into the pilot restart zone, and here we go. Green flag back in the air. Brent Cruz is gone already. Looks like he was shot out of a cannon. Matter of fact, by the time they get to the start-finish line, he'll lead by 5 car lengths over the stacking up traffic from second on back, side by side, down the hill to 1.
I don't know if you can get much more of an advantage on a restart than Brent Cruz has. The gap between him and the second-place machine of Brandon Jones is a good 4 car lengths as they begin the climb to the clouds up through the S's. Jones rides in the second spot. Third right now is Harrison Burton off turn 4.
And that's where traffic really begins to stack up onto the back straightaway from third on back. Here comes Connor Zilic stepping out of line, goes to the inside of Corey Day, trying to take a spot. Just moved around Rajah Caruth. They are nose to nose for position 4. Well, they were by the time they got to turn number 5. Connor Zilic has solidified that spot.
Connor Zilic, the driver on the move. He was just able to pass Rajah Caruth and Corey Day coming out of the carousel. Now he sets his sights on Harrison Burton in the 3rd spot. Brandon Jones still the runner-up. The leader, though, in turn 7 is Brent Cruz.
He's opened up a solid 8 car length advantage off turn number 7. Sunshine really beating down now on Watkins Glen. The fans at the front side of the course are loving this. It's Cruz up front. Then it's Brandon Jones riding in position number 2. Got some work to do there, but at the moment, Dave just simply content to ride second.
For the moment, I'm not sure he has much of a choice, Alex, because Brent Cruz is getting on with getting gone. He has just walked away from Brandon Jones and the remainder of this field. Up through the S's, Jones running all by himself. 10-car length away from Harrison Burton. Burton's about to get some company. Closing fast now is Connor Zillett.
Joe Gibbs Toyotas 1 and 2 at the front of the field. Cruz and Jones first and second. Then that race for third. Harrison Burton has the position. Here comes Connor Zillett to within 1 car length, setting him up at the exit of the inner loop, and right to the inside he goes in turn number 5. Move Connor Zillett to position number 3.
Zillett makes quick work of Harrison Burton. He'll take the third spot away at a turn number 5. Now the next car for position for Connor Zillett will be Brandon Jones. Jones and Zillett separated by about 7 car lengths. The lead for Brent Cruz is 8 car lengths.
Brent Cruz brings him out of turn number 7 with 30 to go here at Watkins Glen. Some shuffling going on further back. Shane Van Gisbergen trying to make his way through the front of the field. Right now he's got a side-by-side battle in front of him, though. He's got Carson Quapple. He's got Sam Mayer. Shane Van Gisbergen tries a 3-wide run. Sam Mayer runs him all the way to the pit wall, and now SVG will rough him up at the exit of 1.
SVG says, you want to muscle me? I'll muscle you. He sends Sam Mayer over the top of the banking in turn 1. He'll slide through on the driver's right and pick up that position. A little bit of bare-knuckle battling in the top 10.
That is for the 8th position, and he has been able to drive away for Shane Van Gisbergen from that battle just behind him as he makes his way into the inner loop. Race leaders already into turn 5. Brent Cruz continues to tiptoe away. The best battle just outside of the top 5, and it's between teammates Rajah Caruth, Justin Allgaier, less than a car length apart.
That is the battle for 6th at a turn number 5, Kyle. Rajah Caruth has got the spot. Justin Allgaier about a car length behind him. If those two drivers check their mirror, they see a fast approaching Shane Van Gisbergen, who is a man on a mission right now.
So let's back up to what happened, Todd, at the end of the front straightaway. SVG was trying to make a pass on Sam Mayer. Mayer ran him all the way to the pit wall, and at corner entry, Shane ran him hard into the corner, but Carson Quapple got into the back of Sam Mayer and drove him off the course to driver's left of those tire packs.
But I would say Carson Quapple was just rolling in with the speed he wanted. When Sam Mayer got loose, he kind of checked up in front of him. It wasn't like Carson Quapple doored him and pushed him out there. It was the contact from behind, but I think that's because Sam Mayer was actually trying to gather himself up from overcooking the corner with SVG behind him. I don't think there's any call here for NASCAR.
AJ, what do you think?
I mean, if I'm Sam Mayer, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying SVG needs the penalty. Now, whether it's true or not, I don't believe it, but we got a battle here. Connor Zillett under Brandon Jones taking over second.
Matter of fact, he'll dive to the inside in turn number 5, trying to take that spot, headed to Tim Catalfamo.
Zillett and Brandon Jones continue to battle for this runner-up spot. Harrison Burton now starting to draw a bead on these two, as both Brandon Jones and Connor Zillett were a little bit wide coming out of turn 5. Through turn 6, it's Zillett who takes the second spot away.
Connor Zillett races his way back to position number 2 after bypassing Brandon Jones in the carousel in front of Kyle Rickey. He will take that second spot. Now he's got 2.5 seconds to make up to get to Brent Cruz and a race for the lead. Pit stops are now beginning with 28 laps to go. Corey Day will bring that HendrickCars.com Chevrolet in for service. Let's cover his stop.
For as long as the fuel goes in, they have enough time to put some left side tires on the car for Corey Day. Sunoco fuel from the right side. They'll swing around now to the right side towards the pit wall. They'll put one pump of the jack. They'll put those Goodyear Racing Eagles on. Chassis wrench goes in on the right. Fuel is in, and Corey Day is down on the way.
Corey Day will pull back out onto the race course now, hoping this stays green and everybody else will have to cycle back around. We'll find out where Corey Day will fall in line. Brent Cruz continues to show the way. 28 laps to go in the Mission 200 here at the Glen. Too soon? What do you like to call here for Brent Cruz? For Corey Day's team.
Yeah, I don't think it's too soon. I think this works for where they were at. They weren't they'd started up front. They'd lost a couple positions. Might as well put a young guy in a position where he can run to the end and he doesn't have any worries about it.
Brent Cruz's lead is 4.5 seconds last time through. And as they come across the start-finish line with Connor Zilic beginning to separate himself from Brandon Jones, it's not enough to carve into the lead that Cruz has. It's a push, 4.5 seconds. So it's Cruz, Zilic, Brandon Jones, Harrison Burton. Shane Van Gisbergen now has taken the number 5 position, but Rajah Caruth, Dave, he's got life complicated for him, racing for 6.
Yeah, Rajah Caruth is just the number 6 spot. He's about 3 car lengths behind SVG, but he's only a car length up on Justin Allgaier.
Shane Van Gisbergen able to get around Justin Allgaier last time by up the back straightaway to move him into the top 5. Rajah Caruth now a couple of lengths back in the 6th spot. Justin Allgaier a part of that battle before the large gap, about 6 or 7 car lengths back to Carson Quapple. Sammy Smith in that pack of traffic trying to hold off Sam Mayer further back as they race through turn 5.
Meanwhile, the leader, Brent Cruz, already turning into the right-hander in turn number 7. Connor Zilic in second does the same. Brandon Jones, Harrison Burton, and Shane Van Gisbergen in the top 5. Battle for 6 flares up again, headed back to the main straightaway.
Here's Brent Cruz off the racetrack. Race leader is on the pit lane with 27 laps remaining, now 26 to go. Brent Cruz in that black and yellow Wix Filters Toyota makes his way to Steve Post.
Here he is. It's the sign mark right on the board. 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. The call here. Looks like left side tires are on and off really good. Little flame comes out of the header on the right side now of this automobile. Right side tires are off. Right now we got a lot of flame out of the headers now. A lot of flame out of the headers here on the right side. Waiting to make sure it's full of fuel. Full of fuel. He revs it up. He gasses it up. The flame goes out. And he goes down and away. And, well, pit road's still on fire a little bit here as far as that goes. Now they get that out as well.
So Connor Zilic goes back to the top of the leaderboard with Brandon Jones, Shane Van Gisbergen, Rajah Caruth, Justin Allgaier, the top 5. That was a scary moment there for a moment with Brent Cruz and the flame that came out of those header pipes.
Yeah, but again, it shows the courage of these over-the-wall crew members. Even though they have fire retardant suits on and fireproof gloves and whatnot, there's still fire burning right there, and they didn't flinch one bit. They finished the tire changes, crouched down, they finished fueling the race car up, car drives away, and just go ahead and douse that out and step on the flames. Here's Connor Zilic, Brandon Jones. They'll peel off the racetrack and come to pit road now on lap number 57. That gives us 25 laps remaining. We follow Connor Zilic to his pit box.
Connor Zilic crew going to go with 4 tires, or well, at least left side tires at this point. Sunoco Racing Fuel as well on the Jockey Chevrolet. Those left side tires are off and back on. Now around to the right side. Indeed, it's going to be a 4 tire stop. Brandon Jones is up. He is in the very first pit box. Going to be 4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel as well for Brandon Jones. Back to Connor Zilic. He's down and away.
Connor Zilic comes off of the pit stop work. He is coming off of pit road right now. Let's see how this blends together. While it will not be the race for the lead at the moment, it will be potentially when everyone else cycles through. Brent Cruz will make the pass around Connor Zilic, Zilic will get out in pit road in front of Brent Cruz, and bookmark this one because this may come into play later as we continue to cycle through these green flag pit stops and get to the end of the final rundown as we get closer to the checkered flag. So green flag pit stops are underway. We've seen a handful of takers, but we've got a lot more to come down pit road for service.
With a damaged race car, Shane Van Gisbergen is back at the race lead. He was up to 3rd before Connor Zilic and Brandon Jones came to pit lane. Here's Carson Quapple off the racetrack. He was running 4th. We'll give that up as we follow him to his pit box.
Great run here this afternoon for Carson Quapple, starting in the back, working his way up towards the top 10 with pit strategy throughout the afternoon. Left side tires are on. Little bobble coming around on the right rear now as they go with the second can of Sunoco Fuel. It is Carson Quapple completing his pit work on the pit lane.
And he will rejoin the fray with 24 to go. Shane Van Gisbergen goes back to the lead, but he, too, must make a pit stop in these waning laps.
Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods. Mission Foods is proud to be the official tortilla, wrap, and tortilla chip company of Watkins Glen International. From fully loaded tacos to fast wraps and piled high nachos, Mission has everything you need to take your race day all the way to the finish line. So keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
NASCAR fans, iRacing Studios brings you NASCAR 25. Race hundreds of the biggest stars of the sport on top tracks from Daytona to Sonoma. Start your career in the ARCA Menard Series and work your way up to Cup while managing team members, sponsors, and more. Or compete online with NASCAR fans around the world. NASCAR 25, available on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Head to NASCAR25.com to buy now.
Justin Allgaier and Sammy Smith have come down the pit lane for their final pit stop. They will pull back out onto the racetrack. We expect others to come as well as Shane Van Gisbergen leads. Rajah Caruth, Jesse Love, Sam Mayer, and Ross Chastain with 23 laps to go. From Watkins Glen International, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Every time the siren sounds or lights flash, someone's life is on the line. At Wheelan Engineering, we know first responders carry that weight every day. That's why for over 70 years, we've led the emergency warning industry, designing and manufacturing the lights, sirens, and safety systems they trust right here in America. Because when the mission is critical, there's no room for second best. Wheelan Engineering, trusted to protect first responders.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-212-2828. 800-212-2828. That's 800-212-2828.
This is Carson Quaffle. You are listening to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on the Motor Racing Network.
We continue under the green flag, 22 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. One of the different things that we have at Watkins Glen this weekend are course limits. There are tire packs in Turn 1, a tire barrier in Turn 5, and Alex Hayden, the tire pack at the entrance of, the exit of Turn number 1, just had its first contestant that had contact.
Yeah, and Ross Chastain was the driver who was battling for position number 4 with Sam Mayer. Went to driver's right, going under braking downhill into Turn number 1. Slid past Sam Mayer, and the momentum continued on to driver's left. He hit the first tire pack with the left front of the race car and really puckered up the bodywork on that machine, and he's been able to continue on, but that was a pretty big hit on a tire pack. It's a bundle of tires all wrapped together, weighs in the neighborhood of 800 pounds.
I would imagine that the composite body on this car, AJ, was a little forgiving in that exchange right there.
A little, but it still has a lot of damage there on the left front. But to me, this race is so intriguing right now. You have about 3 different strategies. You got SVG that we don't think can make it, but does he run as long as he can, trying to go into the last lap that he can pit, hope he gets yellow, then have fresher tires than everybody. Then the guys that did pit later, Jesse Love right now in that second alternate strategy, he's leading over Taylor Gray. We don't know if they can get all the way. They're saving fuel a little bit. And then the third strategy right now, to me, is Brent Cruz and Connor Zilic right now, where Connor Zilic has got Brent Cruz and SVG's in. So that strategy not going to work, what I was just talking about.
Let's cover the SVG stop. It happens at lap 62, and he's coasting down pit road to the attention of Steve Post.
Crew Chief Philip Bell makes the call. The Kubota Chevrolet is into the attention of the crew. There they are around to the left side of the automobile. Going to take a tear off the windshield so SVG has good visibility out around the road course. Left side tires are done now. Well, a little slow on the left front of that car. Now around to the right side of the car. Pumping a half of the jack. Right side tires are off. Right side tires are on. Filled up with Sunoco Racing fuel. Waiting on the right front. Waiting still on the right front. They could give that car to that right front tire index. Shane Van Gisbergen down and away, but this one took a little longer than I think they were looking for.
Yeah, so Shane Van Gisbergen, after some damage to the left front after contact on the pit lane with Connor Zilic back on lap number 42, is going to get back out on the racetrack. A little longer pit stop than some of the others, but he is going to soldier on here today. Race leader at the moment, Mike, is Rajah Caruth. Carruth. He started the race first and currently with 20 to go, back to number 1 spot.
He cycles to the top of the leaderboard after Shane Van Gisbergen just came down the pit lane for his final pit stop. Here comes Raja out of turn number 7. He will stay on the racetrack. Nobody in the top 2, 3, 4 drivers pitting at this moment. Everybody will stand pat and keep their position on the racetrack. So, as they come across the line, Raja leads. SVG is trickling down the leaderboard after that stop that he made a moment ago. Jesse Love goes to second. Taylor Gray to third. Austin Hill to fourth. Ross Chastain, battered left front and all, right now in the 5th spot. Sam Mayer is on pit road. Let's cover Sam's stop.
The Haas factor seems going to work. Already finishing up on the left side. They've swung around to the right side. After getting banged around a little bit, they're going to make a chassis adjustment on the right side for Sam Mayer. Got him back focused, got him back straight. 4 tires, Sunoco fuel for Sam Mayer.
So Sam Mayer will make his way back out on the racetrack. Raja Carruth, last on the pit lane on lap 35. Then second place currently is Jesse Love. Third place, you've got Taylor Gray. Fourth is Austin Hill. Fifth is Ross Chastain. They were all on the pit lane on lap number 48. That would give them 34 laps to run this full stint. And Steve Post and Jason Toy, Todd, you've mentioned it as well. You expect a full fuel load of Sunoco fuel to go in the neighborhood of 29 to 30 laps here. So we'll find out if they're going to have enough fuel or make it last at least to the advertised distance.
Watching a good battle on the racetrack between Austin Hill and Taylor Gray. They continue to dice it up for position as Raja Carruth will come to pit lane for his final pit stop. That will turn the lead over to Jesse Love with 18 laps to go. Let's cover Raja's stop.
Raja Carruth brings the HendrickCars.com Chevy into the grill. They go around to the left side of the car. Raja's been fighting in general a loose condition all race long. It's been fairly solid here over the second half. Here they are now around to the right side. Sunoco fuel can is plugged in to the right side of the car at this point. Here's the way they do it at Watkins Glen. Car is full of fuel. Tires are on the automobile, and Raja Carruth is back down in the way.
He'll make his way back out onto the racetrack with 18 laps remaining. Jesse Love has taken over the race lead. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Motor Racing Network is live at Watkins Glen International, the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, running the Mission Foods 200 at the Glen. I'm Alex Hayden, along with Mike Bagley, Todd Gordon, and our special guest in the broadcast booth, A.J. Allmendinger. We've got everything covered from high atop the start-finish line. Dave Moody is at the top of the S's, Kyle Rickey at the inner loop in turn number 5, Tim Catalfamo in turns 6 and 7, Steve Post at the exit of pit road, and Jason Toy at the entrance.
We are in the throes of an elongated green flag pit cycle. That cycle started over a handful of laps ago, and one by one, drivers will come down the pit lane. All of these, their final pit stops, scheduled pit stops. Right now, Jesse Love has claimed the lead after the likes of Shane Van Gisbergen and Raja Carruth have all committed to come to pit road. Jesse Love leads Austin Hill, his teammate, by 2.4 seconds. Taylor Gray is third, Ross Chastain fourth, Alex LeBay is fifth. And Alex, we expect more drivers to cycle to pit road. Seems like everybody is taking their time. There's no rush. There's still fuel in these fuel cells. However, it's all a strategy game right now as we get to the end of this with 17 laps to go.
Yeah, for those specifically, the 5th and 6th place cars, Alex LeBay, Josh Balicki, they would love to have a caution flag come out and have the field bunched back up where they don't give up as much time as what they would have to if they came to pit lane under green flag conditions. But that remains to be seen if it's going to happen. With 17 laps to go, there are some tight battles around this race course right now involving Connor Zilic is in the middle of a group of race cars off turn number 7. Here he comes down to the right side of the Blaine Perkins automobile trying to get by Perkins. This is a good ongoing battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th. This gaggle of cars heads to Dave Moody.
Here they come off turn number 1 heading for the S's. That's been a fun battle to watch as First Connor Zilich and eventually Brent Cruz have made their way through some of this now lapped traffic. Up through the S's they come. Connor Zilich closing in on the Parker Retzlaff machine off turn 4.
Parker Retzlaff hangs on to that position for now as they hit the back straightaway. Connor Zilich stepping out of line but can't make a move. A couple of car lengths between them. Under braking into the inner loop and slower traffic just ahead in the form of Derek White. That opens the door for Zilich. White goes to the bottom. Makes it really hard for Zilich to get up alongside Parker Retzlaff for that spot. They're side by side.
This is the race for 5th out of turn number 5. Parker Retzlaff in his green and white Chevrolet to the left side of Connor Zilich into turn 6. Zilich will take the position. He'll bypass Retzlaff. Now Retzlaff will follow Zilich back to turn 7.
Making short work of Parker Retzlaff is Connor Zilich as Connor continues to make his way back to the front. 15 laps to go right now. And this battle that we've been describing for you is some 14 seconds behind race leader Jesse Love, who is flying the Whelen colors here in 2026. He brings that Whelen Camaro up the hill and through the S's. And this is where in this cycle of stops, Alex, that the field is a bit scattered and drawn out just because we've got varying pitch strategies in play right now.
And this is one of those types of parts of the race with 15 laps to go. AJ Allmendinger, do you want to know where the competition is if you're out there basically by yourself, or is this one of those where you got your head down digging for all you're worth?
I think it comes down to what situation you're in. The Jesse Love, Austin Hill, Taylor Gray, they're on big fuel save mode, we think. They have to go 34 laps to end this race on a tank of fuel, and that's stretching it. With that said, if I'm Jesse Love, I also want to know where Connor Zilich is. The last lap he ran was 1.3 seconds faster, so with 15 to go, Connor Zilich is 12 seconds behind, just over 12 seconds behind Jesse Love. It's going to be tight, whether he can get to him or not.
Jason Toy?
Well, when you look at it for both of those teammates, for Jesse Love, also for Austin Hill, the teammates came in about 20 laps ago. They're going to try to stretch it the best way they can. But the one thing that they're watching, and AJ was just talking about this, they're more concerned about the 19 car with Brent Cruz and Connor Zilich on how they're making up time. They're trying to pad their way to a victory here later this afternoon if they can do it. Well, they're in massive fuel-saving mode right now.
By the tone of a 1.5 seconds a lap faster is Connor Zilich in 5th than current race leader Jesse Love, who is in max fuel save. We're down to 14 laps to go.
Inspiring story.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway. He will win the Pepsi 400.
I'm just a pilot, man. You know, I just want everybody to be happy. I want to do good, and hopefully all of my dad's fans enjoyed this. It's for all them.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast Junior's Journey. Jeff Gordon, a colorful career, 50 years of MRN, the 1993 season, the road to royalty, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
The field of 40 drivers who will compete in the 2026 eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Championship Series, NASCAR's officially sanctioned esports series featuring the top sim racers from around the world, is set. More than $500,000 will be on the line, with $100,000 going to the series champion. Don't forget to tune in Tuesday, May 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern for round 1 at Charlotte on eNASCAR.com. Brought to you by Coca-Cola iRacing and NASCAR.
Jesse Love leads his RCR teammate by 2.8 seconds. Taylor Gray, 7.5 seconds behind race leader Jesse Love in 3rd. Then it's Ross Chastain 4th, and the fastest car on the racetrack with plenty of Sunoco fuel left in the tank, Connor Zilich. From Watkins Glen International, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Get ready to rev your engines, NASCAR fans. The thrill, the speed, the action. You can now experience it all for free on the NASCAR channel on Tubi. Feel the adrenaline with a library of unforgettable races from Daytona to Talladega. It's a front row seat to NASCAR history. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere on your favorite fast platform. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Find the NASCAR channel on your streaming device and start watching today.
Meet the all-new RE4000 Bluetooth scanner from Racing Electronics. Hear uncensored audio from your favorite drivers or listen to the live MRN radio broadcast, all hands-free and wireless with Bluetooth technology. Fast, lightweight, and built for race day, the RE4000 delivers zero latency so you never miss a moment of the action. Powerful, wireless, effortless. That's the RE4000. Learn more at racingelectronics.com.
Listen to daily NASCAR news from the Motor Racing Network on NASCAR Hot Pass and NASCAR Today.
12 laps to go here at Watkins Glen International, and what's turned out to be an absolutely beautiful late afternoon here in the Finger Lakes region of New York. After it started off with heavy rains earlier today, there are a handful of tickets remaining for tomorrow's Go Bowling at the Glen for the NASCAR Cup Series. Come on out, watch A.J. Allmendinger race and try to go back to victory lane here at Watkins Glen International. Come join us here. If you can't make it, we'll have it covered for you here on the Motor Racing Network.
And that is the price of admission itself, to watch A.J. Allmendinger take to the legendary Watkins Glen International.
Yeah, I mean, the price should just skyrocket, just knowing that I'm going to be here. So
the demand.
The demand is crazy. I mean, got that Grizzly nicotine pouches car starting 12th, driving to the front, so you need to be here for that.
Be fun to watch that. It really will, as A.J. Allmendinger says that tongue-in-cheek, but yeah, we expect a lot out of it. How was the race car in practice today?
It was pretty good, but we talk about tires going away a little bit on these O'Reilly cars. The Cup cars, I've never seen so much just tire debris and just the line got so narrow, it was insane. So it's going to be a lot of about saving tires, a lot of strategy, because in about 15 laps, from the first lap to about the 15th lap was about 4 seconds.
Was this expected? Does this take you by surprise?
It's a little bit expected compared to last year, but I don't know if it's the cold conditions that we had this morning or what, but it was definitely way more extreme than it was even last year.
Race leader is Jesse Love. He'll come off turn number 7, come down to the line. There'll be 10 circuits remaining here in the Mission 200 at the Glen. The red and white Wheeling Engineering Chevrolet from Richard Childress Racing. Down the hill he goes into turn number 1. Couple of lap cars in front of him, but Jesse Love heads to Dave Moody.
He can't quite see him in the rearview mirror yet, but I'm sure he's getting the updates. The looming specter of Connor Zilic, who is just slashing his way through this field, trying to make his way back to the point. He is in turn 2 as Jesse Love is halfway between 3 and 4. Zilic has got some work to do.
Love now at the top of the hill, on the back straightaway. Austin Hill in the second spot. Then it's Connor Zilic, a distance back in third with a few lap cars between second and third, and a ways back to Taylor Gray, who Zilic passed just a couple of laps ago here in turn number 5, has since driven away from Gray, who runs unchallenged in position 4. Here comes Connor Zilic now, exit of turn number 5, closing in on the top 2.
Connor Zilic trying to run down both Austin Hill and Jesse Love. Jesse Love is just entering turn number 6 right now. Now comes Austin Hill, and now Connor Zilic. That is the gap between the top 3 cars headed back to the front straightaway.
Handful of laps ago, Connor Zilic was about 11 seconds and change behind Jesse Love. Now as the leaders come to the start-finish line with 9 laps to go, Jesse Love has Connor Zilic 6.5 seconds behind him. Now put it down to 5.3. Dave, Connor Zilic and his quest to run to the front is in full effect.
Zilic standing in the stirrups and going to the whip right now, giving everything he's got to try and run down Jesse Love. He's still going to have to deal with Austin Hill first, and Hill is a good 20 to 25 car lengths ahead.
And Hill about 20 car lengths behind race leader Jesse Love, who is in the inner loop now here on the backside of the course. Now Austin Hill enters the inner loop and not too far back and closing in quick. Connor Zilic in position number 3. What was 20 car lengths has been chopped down to about 10 as they exit turn number 5 and hit the short straightaway.
And what could make things interesting in these closing laps is some lap traffic. There is some of that is on the horizon for these top 3 cars of Jesse Love, Austin Hill, and Connor Zilic. This time through turn 6, Connor Zilic continues to close the gap to the back bumper of Austin Hill for second.
Austin Hill in that number 2 spot, knows that Zilic is coming to the back bumper in a hurry. Jason Toy, what is Austin Hill saying?
Well, you know, it's one of the things, you got race car drivers that are trying to lobby the crew chief saying, can I put my foot on the floor and go after and try to go for the win. They keep trying to tame the driver in Austin Hill, trying to tell him, okay, we got to conserve a little more. We got to make sure we're there at the end. Austin Austin is trying to lobby everything he can, even going, hey, what's the history look like for a caution late in this race? He's ready to roll here, and A.J. Allmendinger, I'll throw this to you. When you're in the driver's seat and the crew chief is there, you can see the lead in front of you. Psychologically, how hard is it to realize you got to save, and you just want to go?
It can be the worst thing as a race car driver, having to save fuel, knowing as you see that one car getting very close in your mirrors that you're kind of running out of options to win this race, because once the one car gets by the 21, he's not going to run him back down unless we have a caution. So it is a challenge, but at the end of the day, you still know that if you pit, you have no shot to win this race. So you got to kind of live off your crew chief of what he says. But as we see Connor Zilic to the back bumper of Austin Hill, it's a matter of time here before he drives by him.
The 1 is Connor Zilic. The 21 is Austin Hill. And on the outside, here's Connor Zilic. He's going to try to pass Hill. Hill's going to run him wide off the corner. Zilic almost bounces off the wall. He'll maintain control, but they'll race side by side for position number 2 downhill. Zilic from the outside will swing by. Hill take the spot, and Austin Hill will fall back to 3rd.
Connor Zilic does it the hard way in turn 1, passing drivers left on the outside. Next man in his sights is Jesse Love, but there's still a whole lot of open racetrack between Zilic and Love.
And while they battled hot and heavy for that second spot, it allowed Jesse Love to pull away just a bit. He has traffic in front of him, including Sheldon Creed in the inner loop. As he exits the inner loop, Connor Zilic enters. He has time, and he is closing quick, is already drawn away by about 10 car lengths from Austin Hill, who settles in the line in 3rd as they exit turn number 5.
At this pace, Connor Zilic is definitely going to get to the back bumper of Jesse Love. The question is going to be, what's going to happen when he gets there? There is one car, I should say, that Kyle mentioned between the race leader, Jesse Love, and Connor Zilic. That is the wounded machine of Sheldon Creed.
Connor Zilic is undefeated in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series here at Watkins Glen. 2 for 2. He's in the number 2 position right now, but running much faster laps. He's on full attack mode. Race leader Jesse Love is in fuel conservation mode. He can now look in the mirror, can love and see the front bumper of Connor Zilic looming large.
Zilic lights the afterburners now. He can see Jesse Love, and he continues to try and run him down. Comes up on the lap car, Sheldon Creed. Creed will give way to drivers left on their way up through the S's. One more lap car to deal with the Derek White machine, and there's Jesse Love about 20 car lengths ahead.
Connor Zilic to the inside of Derek White and makes that pass with ease on the back straightaway. Continues to close on Jesse Love under braking into the inner loop and chopped about half of it, but it catches the grass at the exit of the inner loop. Does Connor Zilic? Did that damage the right front corner of that car as it dug in just a bit? The dirt went flying, but Zilic remains in second.
A big moment for Connor Zilic through the inner loop as he works his way down the short straightaway. There is smoke that is starting to pour out the right side of that Chevrolet Camaro. This time through turn 6, there is definitely smoke and a bent-in fender on the right front of his Camaro.
Connor Zilic has a tire rub when he clipped the exit of the inner loop, but he's staying on the racetrack. He gets into the wall just a tad. Out of turn number 7, Connor Zilic, with 5 laps to go at Watkins Glen, was tracking Jesse Love for the lead. Dave, it's questionable. Will that car, that quarter panel, make it to the end of this race?
We're going to have to wait and see. Connor Zilic hoping and praying right now that it'll rub on that right front tire just enough to clearance itself. Either way, he's going to have to stay hammered down. No smoke up through the S's as he continues to try and chase down Jesse Love.
And the car looks good entering the back straightaway as the interval, it looks like, has stayed the same. Maybe Jesse Love has built his advantage just a bit after the incident a lap ago involving Connor Zilic, who looks like having a tough time closing that gap on race leader Jesse Love as they make their way through the right-hander of turn 5.
Here comes the leader, Jesse Love, out of the carousel, followed by Connor Zilic. The gap between those two cars down the short straightaway, I would estimate about 15 car lengths. However, it's questionable how much damage Zilic has got to that car. Jesse Love, though, the leader clearly through turn 7.
Jesse Love will exit turn turn number 7 to the line. 4 laps to go for Jesse Love. He's got a good distance back now. We'll call it 50 car lengths to get back to Connor Zilic, who continues to fire on with the damaged race cars. They go to turn number 1.
Zilic, who a couple of laps ago was taking huge bites out of that deficit to Jesse Love, now is struggling to try and pull closer. What was 15 car lengths a couple of laps ago, maybe 12 at the most as they make their way through turn 3 to turn 4 to the back straightaway.
And can Jesse Love, the current race leader, make it to the finish? Connor Zilic in the second spot, still about 20 to 25 car lengths back in the second position and not closing, maybe a little bit this time under braking through the inner loop, but still good distance back to Zilic in second from race leader Jesse Love. Still has time to get there, but that time beginning to run thin.
The good news for Connor Zilic is the last time down the short straightaway, I did not see that car smoking anymore, so that right front fender rub may have clearanced itself through this time through turn number 6. Jesse Love clears it easily. Connor Zilic trying to track him down for the race win.
Off turn 7, they come to the line. It's going to be 3 laps to go. The report from pit road, they have just taken the reins off of Jesse Love. They have turned him loose. 3 laps remain. Jesse Love leads Connor Zilic at the start-finish line. 2.3 seconds. Now down to 1.6 seconds. 3 to go in turn 2.
Ideally, Zilic would have loved to have been pushing Jesse Love for the lead and trying to run him out of gas at the same time. The lead continues to shrink, but it is still 10 car lengths as they make their way up through the S's. Jesse Love just trying to creep it home on the final ounces of fuel.
Jesse Love continues to hang on to the lead, but here comes Connor Zilic continuing to creep in there, not at the same pace that he was closing a couple of laps ago, but closing nevertheless. But will he have enough time to get there and make a pass? Call it 8 to 9 car lengths between the top 2 through turn number 5. It's Jesse Love at the point.
Jesse Love in his red and white Chevy gets out of turn number 5, looks in his rear view mirror. Connor Zilic continuing to get closer. This time down the short straightaway, it's 8 car lengths separating Jesse Love and Connor Zilic. Zilic pedaling that Camaro as quickly as he can, trying to get to the back bumper of the race leader.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. Time is drawing nigh here at Watkins Glen. 2 laps to go, and the lead for Jesse Love is getting smaller. Love across the start-finish line. His advantage, a dozen car lengths. Connor Zilic doing everything he can to track down the race leader as they race their way back to the S's.
This is going to be the longest 4 miles and change of Jesse Love's life. He can see Connor Zilic growing closer in the rearview mirror. Zilic now with a less than perfect race car trying to hunt down Jesse Love in the final 2 laps.
Jesse Love continues to maintain the top spot, has a fairly healthy cushion behind him, although Zilic continues to close. Still 9, 10, maybe 11 car lengths between those 2 cars through the inner loop, and now at the exit. Still no change up front, and the interval between the top 2, still about 7 car lengths. Zilic has time to get there, but he's got to go to the exit of 5.
There definitely is breathing room that Jesse Love has been able to give himself between where he is right now on the racetrack and Connor Zilic. However, Zilic definitely is a little bit quicker right now, and every lap continuing to inch ever so closer to Jesse Love in the race for the lead.
Here they come through turn number 7, the final corner at Watkins Glen. Underneath the Go Bowling pedestrian bridge, down to the line. Jesse Love sees the white flag. Last lap, Connor Zilic close as he's been all day long. He's down to just 5.5 car lengths. There's a car off the course right in front of the race leaders in turn number 1.
That car refires, continues on. No damage done, no hindrance to the lead pair. Here they come now. The lead is down to 4 car lengths. Lap car gives way to the driver's left. Connor Zilic is closing in. The lead is down to just 4 car lengths as they exit to turn 4.
Jesse Love maintains the top spot. Some lap traffic just in front of the race leaders as they race up the back straightaway, under braking into the inner loop. Call it a car length and a half between the top 2. Connor Zilic is there and ready to pounce on Jesse Love, who maintains the leader. They go by some slower traffic to driver's right. It's less than a car length between the top 2.
This is it. Final 2 corners here at Watkins Glen for the race win. Connor Zilic is there, looking for some
some daylight to the inside of Jesse Love. He'll follow Love into turn number 6. One car length separates these two for the win. Out of turn number 6, it's Love, the leader to 7.
This is for all the marbles in the Mission 200, turn 7. Here's Connor Zilic. He'll root his way to the inside, side by side out of 7. They'll drag race to the start-finish line. Connor Zilic wins it. Wow, a thriller in Watkins Glen. Connor Zilic will win the Mission 200. Jesse Love will come up a car length or 2 short, with Austin Hill, Taylor Gray, and Ross Chastain rounding out the top 5. Let's go to pit road.
Stunned disbelief down here on that one. Man, I'll tell you what, as he's doing burnouts, Rodney Childers, boy, he about gave you heartburn and a heart attack at the end of that one. Just describe your emotions, your thoughts now.
Yeah, man, this kid's incredible. He really is. And, I hate we got in the grass there and tore the splitter up a little bit with 5 to go. But holy crap, man. It's so much fun to come to these road courses with him. And just a great job for everybody on this one team all day. And just really excited and happy for Connor. He needs this. Hopefully he can have a day like this tomorrow.
There we go. A lot of emotion down here. A lot of tears in the eyes. Rodney Childers, the winning crew chief here with his driver, Connor Zilic.
Connor Zilic scores the win, presented by Sunoco Race Fuel with zero-carbon bioethanol. From fueling your favorite NASCAR teams to filling up at the pump, Sunoco is trusted to help vehicles perform at their peak. Sunoco, performance is what we do.
Down here, Ryan Blaney gets 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does.
Sunoco cans injected into the car, bubble wall is down and away.
All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR. From the track to your tank. Sunoco, the official fuel of NASCAR.
Introducing the RE4000 Bluetooth scanner from Racing Electronics. Experience uncensored, real-time audio from drivers and crews, all hands-free and wireless with Bluetooth functionality, fast, lightweight, and zero latency. The RE4000 keeps you locked into every pass, every pit stop, and every checkered flag. Plus, with automatic over-the-air programming at major events, setup is quick and effortless. Check it out at racingelectronics.com today.
NASCAR Live Race Day continues on the Motor Racing Network.
Donuts for everyone at Watkins Glen, courtesy of the race winner Connor Zilic, as he's burning them down and making all kinds of donuts and skid marks for all the race fans who have jam-packed the front stretch grandstands. As a matter of fact, he's torn the carcass off of the right rear Goodyear Racing Eagle down there, ripped some of the quarter panel away of that race car, but he'll happily be okay with that.
So we described what happened on the last lap. What happened in that last corner from your perspective? What did you see that went wrong for Jesse Love?
Jesse Love went through the left-hander, got probably just a touch too wide than he wanted to. By that point, he started looking in his mirror, saw Connor Zilic was going to possibly dive to the bottom or get to the bumper. And the problem is, old tires, as you turn off into turn 7, it's a little bit downhill. As he looked up in the mirror, hit the brakes to turn in, was a little bit too deep, locked that right front tire. And once you do that, you got no chance of making the corner with any speed. And Connor Zilic drove under him and took the win.
It's a big drive for Connor Zilic. Jesse Love's going to be sick to his stomach about this one. Did all he had to do to try to bring it home. Steve Post is caught up with Ross Chastain, our 4th place finisher.
Ross Chastain down here getting a big hug down here from Connor Zilic's mom. Out here getting a big hug. Pretty cool scene down here. She's in disbelief down here. Ross down here being a good friend. How about that?
You need to interview Miss Zilic here. She's the winner. She doesn't know where to go.
I can't believe this. Where do I go?
Victory Lane, you'll be right over my shoulder.
My son is going to bring a pillow to Victory Lane.
Oh, last year, that's right.
My other son.
Oh, the other son's bringing a pillow. That is absolutely fantastic. So, Ross, let's talk a little bit about your day here. How did you get a top 5?
Mark Setzer in this ECR engine. It's got plenty of power, and then it made the fuel mileage we needed. So that was the strategy Mark called, was to take 4 at the stage, run it out. Missed out on stage points in stage 2, but it was okay because that set us up to just take fuel on the next one. Glad the way it worked out, but you can see, Postman, I clobbered the turn 1 barrel in that last run. Very, very fortunate that these composite bodies in the O'Reilly cars bounce back the way they do, because if that was a truck, it'd been over. So, very thankful for that. I mean, we've got orange paint all the way to the grill opening in the center. So, definitely, thankful to Mark and Jordan Anderson for calling that strategy, and TMT Gravel, some cool guys I met a couple years ago and just became friends with, and they want to hire some people, Postman. They want people to work in their quarries. So, TMT Gravel and Contracting, if you're looking to work, they're looking to hire you. So that's a great day.
Great day for sure. A lot of dinged up race car down here, but that is Ross Chastain with top 5 finish. We have a 5th place run here today.
Solid effort for Chastain. He comes home in position number 4. Connor Zilich burning the right rear and the left rear tires off of his car, doing donuts. Could not make the turn onto the pit lane to get to victory lane. They had to come and put a wrecker on that thing, and they're going to tow it with the back of the car in the air. Connor Zilich looking the wrong way in the car, but he'll make his way to victory lane at some point. Let's hear from our next finisher with Steve Post.
Brandon Jones down here, kind of doing a debrief down here. Brandon had your pit crew the whole time, and looks like you struggled with some handling on the issue and everything like that, but just kind of describe the way the race unfolded for you here, because we're standing talking about a pretty good day.
Yeah, it was a really good day, I think, for us. If you look at just getting stage points and getting to the top 5 at the end, I think a lot of that was Sam's strategy on the pit box to kind of stay out when we did and pit when we did. Just gave us enough fuel to where I could be as aggressive and go as hard as I possibly could. We thought more were even going to run out than they did. They all ran out after the checkered flag, so they were all super close on fuel. It's fun to have these every once in a while. You don't get a fuel racer, as much as you do, with green flag cycles and everything. So I'm super happy with this effort. I'm super happy that we're getting some momentum on these road courses. The Dakota earlier in the year, this one have all been really good. So I think career best at Watkins Glen, I'll take that. I appreciate Polonis on the hood this weekend, and Menards is always on the side.
A good day, that's for sure, for Brandon Jones down here celebrating a top 5 finish here at Watkins Glen.
So Brandon Jones will walk away with a top 5 finish, and I know that's going to put a smile on his face and the coach's face and everybody over at Joe Gibbs Racing, as Brandon Jones will come home with a 5th place finish. The Connor Zilich car extraction from the head end of pit road continues. They had to take the wrecker, and they actually drug Connor past the entrance of pit road. The crew has arrived with fresh rear tires because he just destroyed the ones that he was in with all the donuts that he made at the start-finish line. So we will wait for Connor Zilich to get to the to victory lane. We'll hear his thoughts, and hopefully it'll be a safe excavation out of the race car.
Yeah, keep in mind, he fell in victory lane right here at Watkins Glen, celebrating one of his wins, and broke his collarbone. So this is going to be a bit of a more tamed exit from the race car.
Let's go back to Steve Post.
Jesse Love down here. Body language says a lot here, Jesse. Just your emotions, your thoughts on the way that unfolded with the last lap.
Yeah, I'm just embarrassed with myself, and yeah, I feel like I let a lot of people down, including myself, most importantly. And yeah, I'm definitely feeling a pain that I don't know if I've ever felt before. So I'm upset and I'm embarrassed. Yeah.
Just how tough is it to save fuel and go fast at a racetrack like this?
It's really challenging. I wasn't very good at it. I didn't feel like, and yeah, at the end of the day, Steve, I needed to hit a corner, and I didn't execute.
Jesse Love.
Heartbreaking, but the honesty's there, and it's a learning moment for Jesse Love.
Yeah, you got to love the passion. I mean, the fact that he didn't just brush that one off, it hit him pretty hard, and he's got wins in him. He's got wins in him. You love to see that much, and he strung his fuel. You know, his teammate Austin Hill, running the same strategy, ran out of fuel and ended up crossing the line 11th. He came home second. One corner away, as AJ talked about, maybe a little bit too much in the mirror, but you got to learn those situations, right?
Yeah, and just as he went through the left-hander there in turn 6, you start, as a driver, okay, am I going to get the bumper? What am I going to do? And you just lose that moment of concentration of trying to figure out where your braking point is, whether you're going to get hit or not. We've all been there. As drivers, we've all been there. You learn from it. You move on. The great thing about Jesse Love, he's the champion of this O'Reilly series, so he can build off of that. But, yeah, it'll bother him until he gets to the racetrack next week.
He's a quick study and a fast learner, and guarantee you he will not make that mistake again. We've seen him make mistakes already, and he's learned from them, and no doubt that was a learning opportunity coming out of turn number 7 and basically drag racing back to the start-finish line and losing this race today to Connor Zilic. Steve Post.
Taylor Gray down here with a solid finish here. I think third place run here today. Saving fuel at the end. What were the challenges you dealt with? Obviously, you made it to the end, not to the parade lap at the end of it. But how tough is that here at Watkins Glen?
Yeah, no. First of all, I'm super proud of everyone. Joe Gibbs Racing, Toyota Racing, Operation 300, and thank you to M Experiment. But yeah, no. I mean, it was challenging at times, right? And just knew how to execute my job inside the car and saving fuel and lifting early and shorting my shifts up to make it to the end, right? So really proud of Jason Ratcliffe for that strategy call. Really good strategy. I feel like we're straight up. We were probably a 5th to 7th place guy today, but obviously, really proud of everyone on the 54 team to be able to salvage a better finish.
You won Kansas 3 races ago. You had a couple rough outings at Talladega and Texas. How important is it for you to get back on the right track with a good, solid day here at Watkins Glen?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a good start to some really good stretch of racetracks that we're coming to in the next few weeks. So really proud of everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing. Definitely important to get the confidence level high leaving here and going into Dover.
Confidence is high, that's for sure. Taylor Gray, a third-place finish here this afternoon.
It was a solid drive for Taylor Gray. Good strategy. Gets them a good, solid finish here this afternoon. Connor Zilic picks up the win. And Mike, that's part of it. After falling in victory lane here at Watkins Glen, it was a little more of a ginger extrication from the race car.
He has made his way out of the car. They made him come out of the roof hatch, which he climbed out of the roof hatch, while at the same time they put an air mattress on the driver's door just in case. But once he cleared the roof hatch, he slid down the windshield and slid down the hood, and he's landed on all 2 feet, and no damage done this time.
Yes, yeah, and his mom talked about, I guess his brother was the one that brought the mattress over there, but making light of what happened here last year, I think that's great to relive those situations and have a little fun with it. Put the show on today. He had a little fun.
3 for 3 in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series here at Watkins Glen. He is undefeated here at Watkins Glen in this series.
Hey, Jay, have you ever hurt yourself in a fit of celebration?
No, I stopped growing at 5'6" because I was scared of heights, so I try to stay as low as possible. Now, a couple of them Celsius spikes off the top of the car that I've done in the past, my body, when I land, is like, my ankles are like, what are you doing, in your knees? So, but I try to stay usually as low to the ground as possible.
I'm with you.
It's the racer's mentality. You got to keep the weight low and left, right?
Low center of gravity, my friend.
As we wait, we will hear from our race winner right now with Jason Toy down in Victory Lane. That's Connor Zilic.
He gets a big old hug from his mom. He's got to work his way around. There's an RV somewhere in the infield that's missing a couch cushion right now that they put down here. Justin Marks, your Cup team owner, brought over. Connor, congratulations now. 3 for 3 here at Watkins Glen. Take us through those final laps there. You knew you had drivers in front of you that were trying to save fuel. How hard were you pushing?
I was going as hard as I could, qualifying laps every lap to try and make up that gap. It's hard to make up 20 seconds that quickly, but our jockey Chevrolet was super fast and gave us the opportunity to go and drive through the field and get back to the lead. So means a lot to get this win with one of our Trackhouse partners, and thank you to Justin for letting me do this. It's been really cool to do these races for JRM, and I always learn a bunch. So looking forward to tomorrow.
Good-looking jockey Chevrolet that you had, but one little hiccup. You go into the bus stop, you hit the splitter in the mud. Did you think that was it?
Yeah, I mean, for a second there I did. I really tried to throw that one away, and the funny part is I told myself going into the corner, I was like, all right, there's like 7 laps to go. I'm close enough now. I can finally relax a little bit. And the first corner I try and relax. I hit the curb wrong, and it throws me out of the rhythm. So I guess that's a sign to not get out of your rhythm when you're in one.
All right, last question. You come down to the final turn here. You and Jesse Love. You guys have raced each other since ARCA. Matter of fact, you had a nice run here in ARCA between you two. What was going through your mind, and how clean of that move did you make?
I mean, I did it. I wasn't going to move him, right?
he ran a really good race and put himself in that position to have a shot at it, and I just wanted to show my nose and kind of intimidate him, and that was enough to get him to lock up his right front and allowed me to get through. So, yeah, pretty crazy after a 30-lap race to, catch him in the last corner, or a 30-lap run to catch him in the last corner. It's pretty wild how that works, but yeah, man, just grateful for this entire team.
But guess what? You get to celebrate in Victory Lane at Watkins Glen. You didn't do that last year too much, so take it all in today.
Yeah, it's going to be cool to finally get to go up and celebrate with these guys. Didn't get to do it last year, so looking forward to it.
Good job.
Thank you.
Connor Zilisch wins again here at Watkins Glen.
He does. 3 for 3 in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. A.J. Allmendinger, your final thoughts for what you saw today, and thank you again for coming up and spending time with us.
Yeah, just a fantastic race. I feel like Watkins Glen and the O'Reilly Series always does that anyway, but Connor Zilisch, Brent Cruz was up there for a lot of the day, obviously SVG, heartbreaking for Jesse Love, but just what a great race. Luckily it didn't rain. It's a little bit cold, didn't rain, but hopefully I can be standing over there tomorrow where Connor Zilisch is. It's going to be tough, but been there before. We're going to try it again.
All the best getting that checker flag tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. I enjoyed today. Thanks.
Yeah,
sure you did?
I did. No, for sure. It was a good time. It was that or crying my bus after I messed up qualifying. So this was way better.
See, we're here to help always. Appreciate you, my friend.
Absolutely. Thanks, AJ. That's AJ Allmendinger, our guest analyst here today, and the Mission Foods at the Glen. Here's how they finished here. At Watkins Glen International, Connor Zilisch picks up the win. Finishing second was Jesse Love. The third-place finisher today was Taylor Gray. Finishing fourth was Ross Chastain. Brandon Jones was fifth. Sixth was Brent Cruz. Parker Retzlaff finished seventh. Shane Van Gisbergen was eighth. Then you had Austin Green with a solid top 10 today for Peterson Motorsports, finished 9th, and Justin Allgaier round out the top 10.
Austin Hill finished 11th. Rajah Caruth was 12th. Sam Mayer was 13th. Carson Quapple 14th. Corey Day was 15th. Sammy Smith was 16th with Harrison Burton in 17th. Brennan Poole 18th. Alex LeBay 19th. And Will Rogers finished in the 20th position.
Preston Pardis 21st. Josh Balicki 22nd. Ryan Sieg was 23rd. Anthony Alfredo 24th. Jeb Burton was 25th. Blaine Perkins 26th. LeVar Scott was 27th. Alex Gannett was 28th. 29th, Sheldon Creed. And Glenn Reen finished in the 30th spot.
Kyle Sieg, that is, was 31st with the Derek White car in 32nd. Jeremy Clements was 33rd. Ryan Ellis 34th. Dean Thompson 35th. William Sawalich finished in 36th with Matt Wilson in 37th and Patrick Starpoli in 38th.
Todd, your final thoughts on what we saw today and what I thought was a highly entertaining race.
What we saw every season we could out of today here at Watkins Glen. We saw rain, we saw clouds, and we ended up with bright sunshine and a heck of a race. Really got to see different strategies play forward. We saw Jesse Love just about get it with a fuel-safe strategy like we saw Connor Zilisch do a couple years ago. I mean, just what fabulous racing. Even saw Ross Chastain take a shot at the tire bundles down there in Turn 1 and survive to a top 5 finish.
Another great race for the NASCAR Rally Auto Parts Series here at Watkins Glen. And, Alex, that primes the pump for tomorrow with the NASCAR Cup cars and the Go Bowling at the Glen. AJ talking about tire wear, not sure how that's going to factor in. So what we got today, we expect more of tomorrow with, obviously, the twists and turns that come along with it.
NASCAR Live Race Day, 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Motor Racing Network will have the Go Bowling at the Glen for the NASCAR Cup Series. Big thanks to Steve Post and Jason Toy on the pit lane for us today. Out in the turns doing fantastic job. As always, Dave Moody, Kyle Rickey, and Tim Cattle-Famo. On behalf of A.J. Allmendinger, Todd Gordon, Mike Bagley, my name is Alex Hayden. Collectively, we with the Motor Racing Network congratulate Connor Zilisch. He's won the Mission Foods 200 at the Glen.